Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the big debate. It's only Awesome FC who's here. He has a
Yes,
new
that's all.
a new name nowadays. It's called Exclusive by Awesome.
Yeah.
I thought you'd name your account. What do I know, Awesome FC?
No. I run two pages on TikTok. So the other page is for exclusive content like the World Cup,
Mhm.
the Champions League, Euros, and all. The second page is just for general chat and general football content.
Mhm. Great,
So
great. There's a lot of feedback. I think I'll mute your mic, and then when it's your time to speak, I'll be unmuting. There's a lot of feedback, but anyway, technical issues, they're always there. It's been a while. I started going live Monday, Tuesday. I was live. Did a very good deep dive on Ederson on Tuesday. Unfortunately, I got an eye injury. It's like every other day I have something with my body. I don't know what's going on, but it's good to be back. It's good to be back. It's good to have the boys in. The guys are still setting up. They'll be joining, but I have Awesome today. Before we even go to our main topics, let's just discuss what's going on in the news. And Awesome, I'll unmute your mic as you answer this question. What's United's plan this summer with the midfield?
yeah, I think the plan is clear and simple. Like I think I actually read the news. I don't know how concrete it is that Ugarte and his agent has been alerted. Like them out of the they want him to leave. I don't know how concrete it is, but if Ugarte is staying, United is actually signing two midfielders, and if Ugarte is leaving, Manchester United will be bringing in three midfielders in
Mhm.
to strengthen the midfield ahead of the coming season. And one thing I'm actually happy about is the fact that the Ederson deal was done because 3 hours ago he was called up into the Brazil national team ahead of the World Cup to actually replace Wesley that was injured last night. And if we didn't get this sorted or the transfer or the negotiation was still pending, they might have just tried to put it on hold till the World Cup
Mhm.
is over. But
Mhm.
I think that's a good move and is an advantage for Manchester United.
True, true. Uh, United talks.
So people,
Long, long time, bro. Long time.
yeah, I keep getting called up to different shows every Sunday, so it's weird, but it's interesting.
Yeah, and my health keeps playing tricks on me. So today I have
Yeah.
my shades on because I got an injury on my left eye. So
Oh, you're good, man. You're good. Doesn't matter what happens, we never break, bro.
yeah, it seems like you heal one thing, the another thing pops up, but in God is
Yeah,
good.
yeah. God
God
is
is
good
good.
at the end, bro.
Yeah. So before we were waiting for the panelists to get on, we
Mm,
were just discussing with Osam like what is United's plan in the midfield. He mentioned about Ugarte and the agent wanting him to leave. Of course,
mm,
there are clubs that are interested, like Newcastle,
yeah.
considering that Tonali wants to leave.
Hmm.
What do you think now with Ederson basically done? What do you think is the rest of the plan looking
Um,
like?
so I think based on what my brother said very recently, there's a strategy in place to
Mhm,
make this make this midfield deal strengthened, like literally, like to try to strengthen the midfield and sign players. And
mhm,
I think they're being a little bit strategic about it because when you look at one of the few things that my brother said about the transfers, he
mhm.
said that Man United will not be bullied by agents, neither will they be
Yeah.
bullied by the market. So that
Mhm,
was one key point I picked from what Omar Beretta said. But now seeing that Ederson, I'm not happy that Ederson is being called up for Brazil. And it might sound very weird, but I'm not happy that Ederson is being called up to the Brazil national team because Wesley got injured, right? If he's being called up, it's not to be a replacement. That's number one. Number two, one of the reasons why I'm not happy, one of the other reasons I'm not happy is the fact that it sets us back a little bit when it comes to players' preparation for the next season. Because the World Cup, we all know, ends in July. That's July 17th. And barely few days after is the first preseason game. So most likely players are going to be rested for like 2-3 weeks before they turn up for preseason. And by the time they are resting for 2-3 weeks, it's already August and the season already starts about a month after the World Cup, right? So it kind of ruins a lot of things, because I thought maybe as he's not going for the World Cup, it's a good thing for us that he would stay, do preseason play, get accustomed to the city of Manchester and the squad and the team you're just joining and all of that. Then he's already kind of, I saw a report that he did an unofficial medical in Italy, and then he would do the actual medical when the transfer window opens. I think transfer window opens like this week we're entering. So when he does that, then the deal will be announced. So I feel like it's going to set us back a little bit, because now he comes back from the World Cup, they're training intensively, and then he cannot join the preseason squad or preseason, because now Man United fans are going to be praying that let teams that contain Man United players, right, that have Man United players, crash out of the World Cup quickly. But you don't want that. You want them to win, right? So that was what happened at the AFCON. If you remember, a lot of Man United fans were praying that Man United players who were in the AFCON, especially them Mbumo and Ahmad and co, crash out quickly and then come so that they can come back and play for the team. So before Ederson now gets used to the team, it's now October. So that's why I feel like it's going to be a very tough one to actually have him, go to the World Cup. But yeah, with regards to the plan, just to add to your other question, I think there's a strategy in place to go for players. But the question is, which kind of players? What type of players are we going for? Because all I see us being linked to is all hybrid players. No one is a number 6. If you're hearing a number 6 like Chouameni, you're hearing it's just a rumor, right? If you're not hearing any other number 6. Everybody's a hybrid. Ederson we signed is a hybrid. Mateus Fernandes that we're interested in is a hybrid. Sandro Tonali is a hybrid. So these are all hybrid players that can play in both boxes. They can run the game. They can run the midfield. They can control the team from deep. But then, who is that number 6? Deep line playing number 6. And that's the number 6 we're about to let go now, Emmanuel Ugarte. Right? So I, as Awesome was talking when I jumped on, I quickly just searched Man United news, Manuel Ugarte, to try to see what is going on. And I've seen what my brother said last year, that any player that does not meet, or not that he said it, this is his rule, hidden rule, or maybe he said it, that any player who, 2 years is the max for any player to prove himself at the club. So with what Awesome said, I'm seeing people like GB United on X is saying that the club's insiders have agreed to confirm, based on multiple meetings, that it is best for Ugarte to move on. And Ugarte himself admitted his time at Man United has been personally disappointing. But anybody wants to clip this up should clip this. And I'm about to make a statement. And we always do this here. Ugarte is going to ball at the World Cup. Ugarte is going to ball at the World Cup. Because what Ugarte actually really needed in this squad is a run of games, at least 5-6 games, for him to be able to show himself. If we're talking of ball recoveries and ball wins and ball everything, he does that effortlessly. Then you now bring it to a legendary coach in Marcelo Bielsa. And I said this in a live on Friday, and everybody laughed. Marcelo Bielsa was the manager that beat Alex Ferguson 3-2 with Athletic Bilbao. And if Marcelo Bielsa, despite Ugate's failings at the club, still invites Ugarte to the national team and plays him at the heart of midfield, then he sees something that Ugarte offers that we as fans don't want to agree, or whoever is the manager of Man United doesn't want to play him. So these are the issues that we see. And if he goes to another club, he's still going to ball because he's a ball winner and he's just 25. He hasn't hit his peak yet. So that's my take basically on all of that.
Yeah, I agree with you in terms of 2-year period. give a player 2-year period. If it doesn't work out, sell them, move them on. And I've seen a couple of reports online that I wasn't happy with. United United ITKs have a way of selling negative news, and I believe I made a video on that recently. In fact, I think my last video before the promo was about that. And there is this report from an account, I won't call the name. They are saying that Manuel Garte reportedly remains the first player to leave Carrington after training session.
That's a lie.
Meanwhile, the last player to leave is often Bruno Fernandes. You see such kind of reports, they start fueling hate, they start fueling bias, they start fueling debates that are neither here nor there. Because we know that once training is done, it's done.
Yeah, you could go home, bro. Is he expected to stay and like?
Is there a competition for someone to stay
who stays the
longest?
Bro.
You see such kind of reports. And then what I said, like weak minds, weak mentalities, guys who don't think for themselves. And guess who posted that article? Samuel Luckhurst.
Bruh. Typical. It's typical. He does that always.
Yeah, so such kind of reports. I don't know why even ITKs post such kind of things. Of course, we know they want to make money because I mean you can't spend $100 yearly to pay for a blue tick and then don't get anything out of it. But anyway, gentlemen, Osam is back. He needed some time to sort out something. I'm loving the fact that all of us have different versions of United jerseys.
Bro, I didn't even I got that. Love it, man.
So I'm in all black from my cap, headphones, jersey, shades, everything is black. Awesome has a mix of white and grey and red, and United talks
red and white.
Has
red, white, and black, bro. All good.
All good. So
with red indent on the headphones, bro.
So we have all Manchester United colors represented. So first topic of the day, let's start with the World Cup. An exciting time for football fans. Let's take some time away from United. I know as United fans, we will keep referring to United, but let's focus on the World Cup first. So that's my rule for this segment. So the World Cup is here. It's being held in 3 countries, Mexico, Canada, and the United States. I was told by someone I have to add the word the United States of America. Yeah. So the 3 countries, this time round, we have 48 nations. So that translates to 104 matches, guys. 104 matches across 3 nations. So let's start by this question. I'll start with Awesome, and then we'll go to United Talks. What do you think of this new format of 48 teams instead of 32?
I think, first off, the new format actually creates an avenue for more teams to actually be represented at the World Cup level. I think before, formerly in Africa, is this six teams that do represent Africa at the World Cup level when it was at the 32 teams format. But right now, we have 10 teams that is being represented out of 48. Then the rest of the 38 teams will be shared among other several continents. But as it is, Europe actually represents the larger, they have the largest share. And in as much as I feel like it gives several other countries to be represented. And I also think it's for business purposes also for FIFA to actually generate more money. And it's the first of this kind. And if you see, maybe that was the main reasons why they actually have a trio of these countries actually hosting it for the first time. And I think Mexico will be the first country to actually host the FIFA World Cup 3 times separately. And when you look at it, it's a good move, but I hope it actually maximizes what they actually established it for at the end of the day, and FIFA are able to get it beyond the line. But I think the 2025 FIFA World Club Cup that was hosted in the United States of America was actually a test ahead of the 2026 FIFA World Cup, because I think the group stage matches, then the round of 16 and round of 32 matches, some of it will be played in Canada and Mexico. Then when it actually um, edges out to the quarterfinals down to the final, all the remaining matches will be played in the United States of America. So I think it's a good move, and football is evolving every day. So that's it from my own end.
United talks. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like this is a good move, just as Awesome said, with regards to it being 48 teams, obviously more games. There's a good to that. There's a good part of it. There's the advantage of having more games and capturing more countries. I mean, you have, I have to mention this because I kind of follow them. You have a country like Gibraltar having a chance to contest to even make it to the World Cup, even though they are not there now. But at least they can say, okay, since there are 48 teams, we can dream to be the one of the 48 teams that will make it out in the World Cup. And I think Europe has actually really helped. The European pot has actually really helped with more teams being captured, because obviously they have the lion's share of the wins when it comes to like World Cups and stuff. But then you also have a situation where they make their tournaments, like they have tournaments like the Conference League, European Conference League. You also have the Euros, right? So when teams win from there, they also have a chance to win. I mean, even when Sweden crashed out of the qualifiers, Sweden still snuck in somehow, right? So that's by virtue of their points tally when it comes to like what they played in the European Conference League or European Championship.
The Nations League.
The Nations League, rather. Nations League,
Yeah.
I keep saying conference. Nations League, European Nations League. Now, with that, you have more opportunity. Like since Sweden had a horrible qualifiers, they have an opportunity to actually even give it a go. You also have, from the African perspective, you have a team like what's this team? The team where Axel Twanzebe and Wan-Bissaka
Congo.
DR
Congo. You have a team like DR Congo going through all the qualifying stages, even the knockout stages, to get to the World Cup. So it is a good thing for smaller teams to actually have a go, even though they know they're not going to get anywhere. Then also the hosting as well. I feel it was a bit of a bias when it comes to the other three nations. It wasn't even, but maybe because America is the lead nation. I am not saying Canada cannot host it. Canada has the capacity, has the facility to host it. I'm not also saying Mexico cannot host it, but like it was kind of biased because in Canada, you only have two cities hosting the World Cup. You only have Toronto and Vancouver. And in the US, they have multiple cities. Obviously, they have a league and they have a lot of stadiums. And like Awesome just said, they've tested it with the Club World Cup. And then in Mexico, they also have a very thriving league. So they have a lot of facilities that can, and it will also be good for them, Mexico, to boost their footballing heritage and everything, because they've produced good footballing teams despite the fact that their league is not as highly rated as those in Europe and all of that, or the ones they call the top 5 leagues in quote. So it's a good thing, but it's also not so much of a good thing because it's too much games, and then players are so exhausted. They just finished the league literally 2 weeks after they're going to the World Cup, and then 2 weeks later the league is starting again, or 4 weeks later the league is starting. They have to report for preseason, and also then it becomes an advantage for those teams that have more players who didn't go to the World Cup. Then when this league season starts, it's going to take some time to catch up, and that's why Chelsea lagged behind because of the Club World Cup. They finished playing the Club World Cup, and then immediately the season caught up with them, and boom, they are finishing 10th. PSG managed to navigate that because what did they do? They had squad depth, and they managed the league when it comes to featuring players, and focused more on the Champions League, and then they were still able to win, right? So Yeah, for teams that cannot afford to buy players and have squad depth, when their players are back from the World Cup, it's going to be a struggle for them by the time the league season starts. So, yeah.
True. Yeah, I agree in terms of more games, more competition. Because you look at smaller nations, of course, there will be some shockers there. Underdogs always liked. FIFA will be making more money, as well as there is one aspect that a lot of us overlook. It's revenue for the local community. Hotels will be making money, travel agencies and all that, as well as clubs.
Yeah, facts.
I'm sure a lot of guys are not aware that FIFA does pay clubs
for releasing their players.
Yes. And you look at, I'm looking at the statistics here, that FIFA compensates clubs through the Club Benefit Program, that is the CBP, for releasing the players, the national team. For the 2026 World Cup cycle, FIFA has increased the fund from 209 million, that was back in 2022, to 355 million. That's nearly a 70% increase. So, other than the commercial revenue, we also have to agree that the fact that they've split to 3 countries also brings in a lot of tourism. There are guys who visit, let's say, Mexico for the first time because, let's say, an African nation is going there. Guys will also get to go to Canada and the US. We are going to talk about the visa issues in a bit. Also, as both of you have mentioned, some teams have gotten chances to go there, but there are also some big names that have missed out. Awesome.
Facts.
Some big names have missed out. We have Italy, Nigeria, Denmark, Poland, Cameroon, Chile, Serbia, Wales, Costa Rica. That is what Gemini is giving me. I'm not sure whether it has verified from online sources. Nowadays, these search AI engines usually have hallucinations. But looking at those names,
Cameroon too is inclusive.
Yeah, Cameroon is one of the teams missing out. So we look at Italy, Nigeria, Cameroon, and then Poland. Those are big teams. Looking at the teams that are in the top 30, teams are in the top 30 are Italy, Nigeria, Denmark, Poland. Those are huge teams missing out. So awesome. Will this World Cup be interesting if your country is not playing?
Wow.
You see, one thing is it's quite predictable, and he who fails to plan is planning to fail.
Facts.
Like I used to say all through the season for Manchester United, like you don't prepare in a season, you prepare for a season. You don't prepare during the World Cup qualifiers. You prepare before the World Cup qualifiers. And the fact is, it's not that Nigeria doesn't have the funds. Even the funds from the Nigerian Football Federation has actually been separated from the federation's account. And FIFA has actually give a warning, like the EFCC and all the other crime able bodies cannot even probe them. Yeah. So these people, they actually have what it takes. But when you have a body of football, the apex body of football in Nigeria, that is being headed by people that doesn't have a technical know-how of how football is being run, that all they do is actually by veto power or political connections and political appointments. And at the end of the day, all these people, when they get there, they actually fight for their pockets. It is bound to happen. The person that was supposed, can we believe that it was during the last couple of our World Cup qualifiers, we get the perfect coach for this team. And he actually tried, but at the end of the day, penalty is a game of luck. He wasn't able to get through the line. But what happens? The funds is available, the materials, the resources, and everything, but they don't want to do it. It is quite pathetic. Nigeria is missing at the World Cup stage. The so-called African giant for a reason. It's quite pathetic.
Now Morocco is
We
the
have
new
a whole lot
African
of
giant.
people. Yeah, we have a whole lot of people that have actually made up their mind. They've planned for this World Cup. We have businesses, we have brands, we have personal people, content creators, Nigeria living in diaspora, Nigeria living in Canada, Mexico, USA. They won't be able to experience their country at the 2026 World Cup. And
At least even if it's just the group stage.
Even before we fail to qualify for the World Cup, we've had scenarios like top players in the team. They are the one that will actually take it within themselves to play all these players bonuses. It is bad.
You know why I'm smiling. You know why I'm smiling, guys. I'm smiling because Osam is in the second stage of grief.
Except anger. Okay, anger.
Yeah, because how would it feel as a content creator? Then you have your country represented at the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Ask me where I am. Ask me where I am with Kenya.
As a matter of fact, I have 3 cousins living in Canada.
Yeah.
If Nigeria,
so you missed out a trip.
Listen, if Nigeria is at the World Cup, I'll be able to get first-hand clips.
Facts. No. As a content creator, yeah.
That is one. Number 2, they won't be able to even experience it like, I want to go and watch my country play in the World Cup. It's quite pathetic. And when will Nigeria be out of this? I don't know. I think Eric Chell's clause in the contract was to get Super Eagles over the line to the semi-finals of the AFCON. Now, he has put up his demand. I think everything is hanging right now. With Nigeria and Manchester United situation, the similarities are different, and the differences are not much. So
ask me where I am. Ask me where I am with Kenya. Ask me where I am with Kenya.
Please, where are you with Kenya?
I'm in stage 5 acceptance.
So it's quite pathetic.
Kenya can't even make it to AFCON. So why would I rant about the World Cup?
Even though I was small in 2002, I was in primary school. I watched a bit of Nigeria. We didn't advance through the group stage, but I watched the matches, and I see the joy and everything. 2006, we were there, and after 2002, Nigerian football started declining. And you now know the most pathetic part. African Youth Championship under 17, Nigeria was missing this year. And that has shown us that we have actually regressed as a nation when it comes to football. When I was in secondary school, there used to be Governor's Cup. There used to be Principal's Cup. That you discover talent, you play football at the grassroots. All of these things are no more. It is quite pathetic.
We're chasing
the fact that Nigeria missed out at this World Cup, it hurt me a lot. It hurt me, to be very honest.
Yeah. So don't exhaust all your anger on Nigeria. We need you for the rest of the debate. So United talks Italy missing 3 World Cups in a row. Yeah. What's going on?
So I was talking to somebody on today's Sunday. I was talking to somebody on Friday, and we're talking about the whole Italy missing the World Cup and everything. And I remember, because I remember I was in that live, awesome, Vertical Football Live. I was there, and then I was going to play a game, and then obviously the team we're playing against didn't show up, so it was a forfeit. But the point I'm making is, we were talking about Italy, and I was like, Italy did it to themselves. And the reason why I said they did it to themselves is because you remember when Fabio Cannavaro was won the Ballon d'Or for Italy as the best player, and obviously won the FIFA best because he was, I think it was FIFA best he won because of their performance in that World Cup. And what I understood from all of that was the fact that Italy were at the peak of their powers until there was scandals, there was issues, there was a lot of like nonsense talk. There was the whole thing where they were doing a lot of match fixing and everything. But there was actually somebody who wanted to build the team and help the team, and he drew up like an article to say that, oh, he's most definitely going to help build Italian football starting from the academy. And lo and behold, Italy just kind of plummeted from there. You know, you have to think about it from that perspective based on the fact that Italian football did not start to decline now. It started declining like long time ago. Imagine 3 World Cups. 3 World Cups is 12 years.
Yeah.
So it's been declining for like 15 years, right? So that's the issue. The issue started from them. They did not build a strong academy. You are only seeing individual players who kind of came through their through the ranks of their clubs. You don't see like the likes of the Marco Materazzi, Alessandro Nesta, Del Piero, Totti. These are guys who actually grew up playing good football in Italy, and then coming here, you now have a situation where you have these players who, I mean, you go to a Champions League final and you crash out. If you check the AC Milan team, you can count 5 or 6 or 7 strong Italian first team players. You check the Inter Milan team. These are the teams that churn out a lot of first team players. The Inter Milan team, you can't find their best striker is Thuram. The AC Milan team, the Napoli team, their best striker is maybe Lukaku or Rasmus Højlund. You check the maybe Inter, you might have that young lad who went to Al Hilal and came back or played in the Club World Cup and all of those things. You have that. Then, so you rarely see any strong Italian player. So even when they had the opportunity, the last opportunity to actually qualify, they lost. They crashed out. So they crashed out to Bosnia. So that they did it to themselves. They didn't plan. Just like Osam say, when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And as I was saying, somebody brought out an article, created a report of a plan to rejuvenate and resurrect Italian football, but they shoved it aside, and now Italy is missing another World Cup. So they caused the problem themselves, and it is similar to Nigeria as well, and also to Cameroon. And for Cameroon, I make bold to say that Samuel Eto'o ruined Cameroon's football when it comes to them getting to the World Cup. Nigeria is a leadership situation, is a leadership issue. It's an issue that has been ongoing for the longest time. And we've also known, forget that we sometimes manage to, by mathematical calculations, qualify to the World Cup. We've always also known that this crash was imminent. But obviously, with Eric Chell coming in, it kind of helped us show that we had a team. But it's so sad to see this team of this golden generation. What I mean by golden generation, I know they are nothing compared to the Kanus of this day, of this world, the Okochas of this world, but this golden generation of players who have reached like 26, 27, they were supposed to be at the World Cup, but they lost it. In fact, if you remember, we had 5 draws at one point, or 4 draws or something in the group stages, in the qualifiers and all of that. So these are the issues, and it's the same thing that's happened to Italy. Italy cannot even go far in the Nations League, let alone in the Euros. So it's a problem, a big one.
Yeah, you know, I was looking at all these teams and looking at European teams, looking at North American teams, African teams, and South American teams. You see, South American teams like borrowed from the European teams, most of them, what they are doing in terms of academies, in terms of what was I going to say? Sorry, I zoned out because I saw a comment. In terms of in terms of having relationships also with European clubs, you hear that clubs like Porto, clubs like Sporting, clubs like Valencia, Sevilla have links to countries like Argentina, countries like Brazil. They get players from there, and within 2-3 years, they can sell for profit. They buy a player like 500,000 euros. They sell him for 50, 60, 70 euros, million euros, that is. And African teams, one thing that I keep saying about African teams, it's all to do with bad governance. It's not a lack of talent. It's not a lack of resources. Africa has the best weather globally. You look at Brazil. Brazil have similar weather to Africa, and they're doing well. They still have corruption issues like African countries, but when it comes to sports, they are really good at it. You look at Argentina as well. They have their issues there. Brazil is a vast country. It's a very huge country, but for some reason they still perform. They still perform in their continental competitions, international competitions. You look at African teams, they have very good players in big teams. They have very good players. So it's not a talent issue, it's a governance issue. As Osam has mentioned, when it comes to vetoing, let's say a coach, why would a politician veto a coach? A politician is there just for a period of time, but a coach is the one that knows the team. A politician does not go out scouting for players. A politician does not sit and come up with training plans. So why should a politician tell a coach which player to select? So that's some of those things just get my head in. I get like Kenya, we have a lot of talent. We have also players who play in Europe, in the US, in Australia, but they don't get called up. Actually, you look at podcasts, you see a player plays in Australia. He's a very good player. Like there's a player called Kamau who plays in the Australian League, and he's a very, very good forward. He can play as a striker and can play as a winger, but even if you call him up, he'd rather play for Australia. We have players who play in New Zealand, and it also happens with athletes like the marathoners, the short race athletes. You find that they would rather go to Oman, take the check, go to Oman and represent that country, because someone works hard, they go to the training ground, they go to the competition, and then when it comes to payday, the politicians choose their money. An official in the federation eats up their money. But anyway, that's a debate for another day. Because we can talk about African issues. So before we go to the big wigs, the ones who are participating in the World Cup, and who are the dark horses, who are the guys who are the main favorites, this World Cup has been mad with controversy.
Facts.
And one thing that I'm loving about this Awesome and United talks is, do you remember the Middle East World Cup? I think it was in Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
Do you remember how the West tried to create controversy for the World Cup and
push media narratives and agendas?
Now, what about this one? Because we have immigration and restriction issues. We have the Iran-US political crisis. There is the record-breaking ticket prices, and not in terms of actually guys buying it. It's in terms of the price of the tickets. There is the FIFA commercialization of the tournament. There is Gianni Infantino. Guys are not happy with him and the FIFA governance. There is human rights concerns. And then, of course, some people are not happy with the 48 teams and 104 matches. And also there is climate and environmental impact. There was a game, which friendly was it? It was halted for 30 minutes because there was a thunderstorm that happened. And then there was, of course, and then there is heat and fan safety. So let me start with Awesome. What do you think of this World Cup? Why is there so much controversy instead of guys being actually excited that there is a World Cup?
Well, I think it is actually the feelings that is surrounding it. Because if we were to look it by metrics, I don't think US is supposed to be a country that will be hosting the World Cup. About 37 minutes ago, 9 people have suffered injuries in shooting near England's World Cup base in Kansas City. Athletic reported it about 37 minutes ago. And we actually know the gun violence and everything when it comes to US. And in as much that is not their major sport, and every country in the world right now are actually embracing football. But I think it will have been better to actually shift this to another nation. But we understand. As United UKG has said earlier, investments, revenues, and a whole lot of things. And after hosting it back in Qatar in 2022.
Yeah, it was Qatar.
Yeah. Then Joe Infantino will actually be looking higher. Like, I don't know how much they actually made, but he will be looking at, okay, where's the next base we can actually generate a higher revenue than the US has it, the number one in the world. And how is this World Cup going to go? Because we actually have a host of people that have actually missed out on visas. I think there was a $15,000 bond they were asked to pay for some certain countries going to the World Cup. And in as much as we have countries that the federation will actually sponsor their trips, and we have countries that it will be personal. How, even if it is World Cup and US has a strict policy, why can't they actually bring down their policy rather than hurting a whole lot of people? I don't think, let's look at Iran for a bit. I don't think we have much of Iranians, their fans at the World Cup. We know the existing war that is actually between these two countries. The Iran, what's it called, Israeli war and everything. Even in Mexico, there is crisis a bit. The cartel issue and the rest. And as United Talks have said it severally, I think Canada was cheated in this World Cup. Because I feel like the sole and the primary nation that's supposed to host this World Cup should be Canada. But
obviously, US will come and take over. Yeah.
Yes, it was veto power in play. And Canada 100% has everything.
Oh, we have the facilities. Never mind.
This nation. And one of the main things that actually gripped my attention is the fact that after the round of 16, no World Cup matches will be played in Canada and Mexico.
Yeah.
And the rest of the matches will be played in the US.
Yeah.
If you know, it is actually better, like, okay, let US host it. Don't tag along Mexico, don't tag along Canada. But it is what it is. I know, let's see what they are able to do at the end of the day. The first time we are having 42 nations in the FIFA World Cup, we see what happens at the end, because even though a whole lot of people is not sitting well with them, but I won't be surprised in the next World Cup by 2030, we may be having 64 nations, because everything in football is now business.
Then let everyone play. Let everyone play.
Let's bring the 100 and something. That's all.
Yeah. Now, United Talks. Before you jump onto the controversies and whether this will kill the excitement or has killed the excitement, let me read a couple of comments. Of course, United Talks says, ready to go deeper into the beautiful game. Join the exclusive squad. Subscribe for inside analysis, live Q&As, and behind the scenes content. Behind the scenes content. Behind me is a painting. Behind Osam is a wall.
Nice one. I see what you did there.
Yeah, so join now. So make sure you also subscribe to United Talks podcast on Facebook, TikTok, as well as YouTube. Paul Gadi, good to see you. Long time, brother. I'm saying good evening, UKG fam. I'm going to enjoy the FIFA World Cup like I always have. So that's good. However, on TikTok, Yeah. Sorry.
Go ahead. Go make your comments.
Yeah. However, on TikTok, Jerry is not happy, and Jerry says that the time difference is really making us worried because we'll miss a lot. Let me tell you guys, I ain't waking up at 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. to watch a game. It is not happening.
It's stressful.
Osama has dropped, but we'll go on. Roy Karaoke, bigger brother, you're saying, guys, United need to sign Angelo Stiller. He's like Bruno in the midfield and has Casemiro blood.
That's too far.
Okay, United talks. I know you have a pen and paper. Note that down. We'll discuss it when you are going to United's midfield.
Angelo Stiller, okay. It's touch and go.
Yeah,
still thinking about it.
We'll discuss about it, Roy. We'll discuss about
it.
Yeah. Let's see who else. Jerry, hello to you. I think I also saw a comment somewhere regarding Ederson being called up for Brazil. I think we mentioned that. And then, of course, our Aristic bigger brother, he's saying with Ederson, I hope United fans can get to see more of his given talent that he's been called up. That's true. But as I said, rule number one, we are not going to talk about United right now. It's all about the World Cup. Then you're going to talk about United next. So, United talks. Paul is excited for the World Cup. Personally, the excitement has gone down, considering that I have to stay up late to watch games. There are teams that I like watching: Spain, France, Portugal. I also want to see what Thomas Tuchel does with England.
Yeah.
And I also want to see the underdogs, how they perform. But the challenge here is not time. Even when the World Cup was in Qatar, you guys had also to stay up late or wake up early to watch, even United. So we might be, myself and Jerry might be complaining about the timings of the World Cup, but you guys have to stay up 3 a.m., 4 a.m. to watch United play,
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
So it's only for a short time, Jerry. Let's. So my question to you, it's just a month. So my question to United Talks, a follow up on what Osama said in terms of the controversy, in terms of the excitement. Now, this will be more or less like a tester, like a pilot, because it's 48 teams, 3 countries. And I believe I saw an article saying that FIFA will try to do this for the upcoming World Cups, where multiple nations hosts, because there are too many games and, of course, resources are required. For example, when South Africa hosted the World Cup, they spent billions. I'm trying to look at my notes, how much they spent to get the infrastructure ready. Because the requirements for FIFA is 40 to 80,000 seat stadiums. Not many nations have that.
More money for them.
Yeah, that means more money. So I've lost the notes where I wrote down how much South Africa spent, but I'll look for that as you speak.
Okay.
So, for example, there are joint bids involving countries such as Egypt, Morocco, and Tunisia to host the next one. So, question number 1, controversy versus excitement. Question number 2, what's the future of the World Cup with this pilot that they've started?
Okay, so what was the first question again? Sorry, I was checking.
Controversy versus excitement.
Yeah, so controversy versus excitement. From this side of the world, there is no excitement. I'll say this because everybody's complaining. The tickets are extraordinarily high. People have been able to use their connections to buy tickets and then resell on the black market, so it kind of takes the prices up. So that aside, one of the host cities, Toronto in Canada, their stadium, the BMO Center, the BMO Stadium, is the home for Toronto FC. And like if you're going to Toronto on the Highway 401, you can see the stadium. It's just close to downtown on the right. If you're going in, driving east, right? So that way, I mean, when you go to that area, you will notice that there is not so much going on. There's construction, no doubt, but there's not so much going on, right? I'm not sure what's going on in Vancouver and stuff. Then in the States as well, they already have the stadium. They already have the facilities by virtue of their leagues, right? But now America coming into the picture has a role to play in the pricing of the tickets. And I'll tell you, they price the tickets as if it's a Super Bowl.
Oh,
Do you get it? So there's this.
yes.
So it's you have to go through a skin or a pound of flesh to actually get a ticket.
And are the tickets the same? Sorry to cut you short.
Yeah.
Are the tickets the same for the group stages? The same price for the group stages?
It goes up. And then within the stadium, there are specific seats that are more expensive than the other. The closer you are to the pitch, is the more expensive it gets, right? And also there's the VIP tickets and all that. Let's not talk about that. But then with all of that, the host nation and people who are living in the host nation cannot even afford to get tickets to get to the stadium, let alone those who are in the other nations like in Europe and stuff. In Europe, it's like your destination. Like you have a station where it's like your vacation destination. You have a station where people buy the tickets, they come, maybe they only have tickets for one game, right? And then that's it. They watch that one game, the rest is just holiday. And then they end up watching it at viewing centers and stuff, right? So it's really difficult to get tickets. You can't get even Canadians can't get ticket to go to 3 or 4 games or even one, because the ticket is going to as much as $5,000 to $15,000. So
US or Canadian?
Canadian, but obviously it's priced in US, right? But in Canadian dollars is about $5,000 to $15,000. So you have to save for this from like 4 years ago. I'm not saying that people cannot, but what I'm trying to say is that
I'll sell my kidney,
bro. That's it. Because then if the ticket was maybe around maybe $800, because we were seeing rumors that the ticket was going to be around $800 to $1,000, but now it's $5,000 to $15,000. Then hotel prices are definitely going to skyrocket in the area. So
5,000 Canadian dollars in Kenya shillings.
Yeah, no, don't say it. I know where you're going to go. It's already going to be 4 million, I'm guessing.
No. It's 464,000 Kenya shillings.
Bro.
Let me check in Naira.
Don't go far. Let me just tell you what it is. 4.98 million Naira.
Ooh.
Exactly. So let's not talk too much. So imagine somebody spends 4.98 million Naira, gets a ticket, and only comes to Canada to watch a game. Let's not forget flight.
Yes.
The flight alone is around that same amount, 3-4 million Naira. Then you come, you watch only one game. Let's not forget hotel.
Yeah.
Per room, we're not talking anywhere. Say nothing less than 1 million Naira per room. So if you look at it, 1 million Naira, I'm talking like $1,000 per night, right? So think about it, especially the hotels in that area. So in as much as more countries are captured in the teams playing, not all countries are captured in the supporters watching.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of people watching the game that day, but it's going to be really difficult to actually get a lot of fans.
Yeah,
that is the number one. That's one of the major issues with regards to that. And then the controversy, you have the US-Iran war that's also playing its role. You also have Canada being worried about immigration situations where people will travel and not want to leave. So they're setting up a lot of things like AI monitored cameras and drones, no-fly zones, and all of that, just for what's going on, right? So it's upon us, and it's a big deal, right? So, and then what was your second question?
The second question was, now considering this is the first time you are seeing 48 teams, and 3 nations hosting, and now we are seeing nations combining, lobbying and bidding.
I was going to add something to that, just to follow up. Then I'll answer the question.
Yes,
the next World Cup in 2030 is going to be co-hosted by 3 nations.
Yeah,
Morocco, Portugal, and Spain. So it's already beginning to happen, right?
Yeah.
So if they are able to successfully, because they've done 3 nations now, Canada, US, and Mexico. It succeeds. Next one I think 2034. Let me
Mhm.
check 2034 because I think they've already decided 2034. Saudi Arabia.
Mhm.
Saudi Arabia will host that of 2034. By then, their league would have been much better.
Yeah.
But after 2034, when they start doing like 64 teams, they might even move to 4-nation hosting if they are able to
Ooh.
successfully do 3-nation hosting. So it's going to be really tough, right? It's going to be, and it's just more games. And we're not even done with the more games that you see. So 2038, like you mentioned, 3 teams are already lobbying for that.
Yeah.
3 nations are already lobbying for that. But
Yeah.
at least up until 2034, you see. So FIFA's continental rotation rules, the host is most likely to be chosen from either Oceania Football Federation or CONCACAF, as the other federations are banned from bidding due to hosting the 2030 and 2034 tournaments. So
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia will not host after that one for 2038.
Mhm.
Europe will not host, so it will now be Oceania, that's New Zealand and Australia,
Australia.
and then most likely CONCACAF, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be really, 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 really super interesting. When I mean CONCACAF, I think CONCACAF is South America or something. So it's going to be
Yes.
really,
Yes.
really interesting.
South America.
And then you can
Yeah.
imagine having New Zealand, Australia, and maybe Argentina hosting the World Cup, 3 nations. It's going to be a whole lot of travel issues and stuff. So yeah, it's a
Now,
tough one.
let me ask you a question in that regard. Considering that, let's say they want to host in 3 nations, let's say it's Europe's turn,
Mm.
and we know England have Brexit issues.
Yeah,
Does it mean
yeah,
that only England will be a solitary host nation like Saudi Arabia? Or because if they do decide to do 3 nations with the Brexit rules, can you imagine the visa issues?
yes. That's a very good point to think about when it comes to like England hosting. Doesn't mean that European nations can't go into England. You're just going to be stricter rules now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
England already have the facilities to host the World Cup. They just need to kind of
Yes.
brush it up a bit to get there, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's going to be really tough. But like when you look at the next one, the 2034 World Cup, no 2030 World Cup, Morocco,
Yeah.
Spain, and Portugal. These are
Yeah.
nations that are close to each other. Morocco
Yes.
and Spain are just like next
I
door
think
neighbors.
is it 21 kilometers apart or something
Yeah,
like that?
yeah, just by a
I think
bridge.
it's the
basically.
sea that is dividing them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
And
bridge.
it's narrowing by the year. It's narrowing by the year.
Yeah.
Now, Awesome is back. I hope I didn't cut you short, United Talks, because you
No.
still have a lot. I want us to finish up the World Cup, then now go into United, Manchester United. We've done 1 hour of the World Cup, so quickly we are going to go through the big names. I've divided into tier 1, tier 2, and the underdogs.
Yeah.
But before that, let me, Damo has greeted you all.
Oh yeah, Damo. Cheers to you, Damo, man. Big up, Damo.
Yeah.
Big up.
Respect, Mr.
Ayobami says, see as Niger network. Come on,
Nigeria.
I need to learn Pidgin.
But you see, so he says see as Niger network take Komoto. So it's like see the way the Nigerian network took us out.
Oh, you know, guys, let me tell you, these gents are not good. They start writing stuff on the group. I'm like, I need a Pidgin translator.
Oh yeah, true facts. Yeah. And you get carried away because when we type it, sometimes let me tell you how it works. For me though, when somebody types something that sounds Pidgin in my mind, my reply is going to be in Pidgin.
Okay.
That's what happens.
Okay.
You don't automatically just switch back to English. It's like someone says stuff like how far. My first reply is going to be I day because it comes to me as Pidgin. So that's an example. Yeah. So
Simon WH6X is saying, good evening to you. I shall believe that the Glazers are selling when I read about it officially. We are coming to
talk about that. Yes.
We'll talk about that. we want to wrap up the World Cup talk and then we'll come to everything United. So Awesome, you've been missing for quite some time. So I'm throwing you this question. So the big hitters here, the big names are Spain, France, England, and let me throw in Portugal there because Portugal have a very, very strong squad. And then we have tier 2, which is Argentina, Brazil. Those are tier 2. I'll also throw in Germany there. The dark horses are Morocco, Japan, Netherlands. Those are the dark horses. So among those teams I've mentioned, which one do you think, Awesome, will go all the way to the final, if you are to predict? Or if there is a team I haven't mentioned on that list, what is your prediction for this final?
Well, I think the tier 1, Portugal, Spain, France, and
England.
England.
Yeah.
But I think tier 1, I'm removing England.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
oh, my brother. Did you watch that game yesterday? That game was rubbish. That game was gash.
And
absolute rubbish.
Because we've actually known how this English national team have been. They can actually make it to the quarterfinals. But there's one thing we are not talking about. And from the round of 32, there will be some shocking nations that will be crashing out unknowingly, because when matches actually advances to the extra time, penalties will turn out to be another massive decisive outcome. Then apart from penalties, extra time, you may cruise into extra time, then you see a nation actually pulling stunts. So then from the round of 32, don't be surprised if you see like 3 or 4 big names crashing out. I won't be surprised. Then round of 32, we have several other nations, but there's one in that list, that dark horses, or the third tier. I want to include Paraguay, because Paraguay has actually been some spectacular nations in the World Cup. I remember the 2002 Chilavert and the rest of the boys, they actually pulled through. And Paraguay has actually been a great footballing nation in the American axis. So being back in the World Cup stage after 16 years is a lot. The last time they appeared at the World Cup stage was in 2010. That was in South Africa, and ever since then they've went missing. Then there's actually one other team. It's actually from the American axis. Moise Caicedo's national team. Yeah, and let me go back to Paraguay. I think Paraguay have this guy that was formerly playing in Newcastle, Almiron. They have a
Miguel Almiron. Yeah.
They have a guy that is playing in Sunderland. I think he's a defender. About 5 or 6 of their players plays in top tier football in Europe. Then if you go back to Moise Caicedo's national team also, they have a decent squad.
Is that Colombia?
And,
or Ecuador?
Yeah, Colombia. No,
okay.
Is it from Ecuador? No, it's from Ecuador.
It's Ecuador, yeah.
It's from Ecuador. It's from Ecuador.
Yeah.
Colombia is the likes of Rodriguez.
Moises Caicedo is Ecuador, yeah. DM.
Yeah. So Ecuador too, I see them pulling a stunt. But in that top one, I think I will replace England with Argentina. Yeah.
Bro, 110%.
Yeah. I will replace England with Argentina or Brazil. Because this World Cup, I'm seeing clinicality actually doing the most fast. Especially when a team edges through a group stage. From the round of 32, any team that is not being clinical in front of goal, we've seen it all through the season in Europe. We've seen it during the qualifiers, and it's actually going to play another major role in this World Cup. So
which team are you supporting?
Thank you. That was a good trap. I like it. That was a good trap.
See, me, I have the feeling that the team I'm supporting will actually win this World Cup.
Which
Viva
team? Come on.
Ronaldo, Forca Portugal.
Okay, United talks. We need to wrap this up, then go to United now.
So the World Cup, like you talked, like Awesome rightly said, I'm taking England out. Simon is really going crazy in the chat. He's annoyed with the way England played. I've always known that basically this English squad. He says after last night's dire match, if we play like this against Croatia, what hope have we got?
It's coming home.
Yeah.
It's coming home.
coming home to where the English fans are already annoyed that that what's his name, Tuchel went down to pick the squad he picked, but he wanted to play his style of play. But that's by the way. Now speaking of the tier 1, I'll take England out. I'll put either Brazil or Argentina, just like Awesome. Portugal look like this World Cup is for them, and I know why I say this. I say this because they will be playing for Ronaldo, even though they can play without Ronaldo. They have a very good squad. They have players that have actually done really well at their various clubs, and they are being led by Bruno Fernandes. And you know, when Bruno Fernandes is leading, there's always going to be craziness going on in the squad. And obviously, you can tell by the way the game they played yesterday or thereabout that they played against who was it? Who did they play against? Who did Portugal play? Portugal played Chile, that they got a red card in the halftime and all that. Now, this is Martinez's time to actually bring this make this golden generation to come of age. That's what I mean. That's what I was trying to get at, because they have a very good squad. Defense-wise, they have established players. In the midfield, they have really established players. They can switch up the midfield anyhow they want. In the attack, they can switch up the attack. If you want to go old, Ronaldo, you want to come back young, they have anybody that can play across the line. There's the Guedes, there's the this other PSG guy. There is Gonzalo Ramos. There's Conceição. If you want, you can even bring in this young lad that plays with Ronaldo at Al Nassr. Bring that one in as well. He can do well at João Felix. He can do well at the national team and all of that. Then you have the Bruno Fernandes. You have the Bernardo Silvas of this world. You have the João Neves. You have the Neves. You know, of this world. You have Vitinha. Like, that midfield is absolutely stacked, right? So that's by the way. Now you have also one team you didn't mention, which is France.
I mentioned France as tier 1.
Tier 2 or tier 1? Okay, yeah.
Tier 1,
France, Portugal. You mentioned, who else did you mention that tier 1?
I mentioned Spain, France. Okay, England, you've said dropped down.
Drop off.
So we've added Argentina, Brazil, and Portugal to tier 1.
Okay, yeah. So these are the tier 1 teams. Then I'm going to skip tier 2 because anything can happen in that tier 2. But I'm going to the dark horses. And I don't know why I've been leaning towards Cote d'Ivoire of recent. And I know why I said that, because I even said it in the live on Friday. Cote d'Ivoire are a team that have played in the African continent. And they understand this heat. I was saying it on Friday. The heat in North America is, I know you can't compare to the heat in Nigeria, but the heat in North America burns the skin, literally. Like, you literally feel like your face is peeling off. It's not because maybe you've been in the cold for too long and all that. It burns. So it's going to be African teams that are going to thrive a lot. You have the likes of Egypt, you have the likes of Cote d'Ivoire, you have the likes of DR Congo. These teams will thrive. But I'm rooting for Cote d'Ivoire because I feel like they have a very young squad. They've also reached their golden generation era. I mean, I'm not saying because Ahmad is there, but I'm saying because they have a lot of, like, you even have Desiree Doué's brother playing there. You have even Bonny making it to that World Cup squad. You have Pepe coming to his own as well, played really well for Villarreal and all of that. So those ones could upset a lot of teams. You know, their first game is against Ecuador. So it's going to be a really, really interesting game. So I'll add them to that dark horse category. Maybe the storyline of DR Congo might enter that dark horse category because it feels like their story doesn't want to end. You know, they got to the they faced Nigeria, beat Nigeria, got to the qualifiers, beat Jamaica, got to the World Cup, and their story just still continues. And you're like, oh, this is a team that put together a couple of players who are kind of almost done, and then they're doing really well, right? So that's pretty much my take from all of that.
Okay. Simon is very active.
Yeah,
on the chats.
Big up to you, Simon, man.
Big up to you. My namesake. My namesake.
Yeah, facts.
Scotland match was far more exciting. They scored 4 goals to a pathetic one. He's really, really mad with England. We are missing Maguire.
110%, bro. I agree with you. I don't know what Tuchel is thinking. And he picked Stones, bro. Stones just came back from injury. He picked him.
And there are players that he left that I feel, I wouldn't say I believe, let me just say the word feel. I feel that would have helped that English squad. Phil Foden and Cole Palmer. Those 2 players, they are players that can actually come up with something out of nothing. And there are instances, there are moments in a game you need that. So
you need just an X factor, right?
Yes. You know, those 2 players, they have experience. They have the energy to play. They can come up with something out of nothing. So, despite the fact that Rashford played, I still don't want him back at United.
I can tell you about Rashford. See, I watched the game. No, I didn't watch the game, but I watched the extended highlights. And the extended highlights was the person who put that highlight together was very methodical. He lined it up in good phases of play. And I was not particularly impressed by Rashford. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
It's the new hairstyle.
That hairstyle was very bro. I didn't want to say it. But you just took the words out of my mouth, bro. That hairstyle was
new hairstyle.
Bro, man, what was that? What's that? Like, bro, you're 28.
Yeah. He wants, you know, it's like Dogu. When Dogu has
a new hairstyle, he scores like a couple of goals.
Did you see the goal he scored?
Yes, I saw the goal.
Ooh, yes.
That was a good goal.
Yeah.
It's high time the Glazers are selling. We are coming to that.
That one. It's spicy.
To that.
Spicy.
Yeah. I was nearly 3 years old when we last won the World Cup. Ooh.
So you're speaking of England.
Yeah. I can't speak because I wasn't born.
Yeah. Big up to you, Simon, man. Cheers.
Big up. Yeah. The women play better than we did. At least they actually won the trophies. You know what?
Yeah.
You know, with all this gender equality and stuff, why can't FIFA come up with a mixed tournament?
Yeah. You know, they do this in North America, right? They call it co-ed. They call it co-ed. So men and women play. And then you have in a team, say, for example, in a 5-a-side team, there'll be 3 women and 2 men, or 3 men and 2 women. There must be a kind of like a balance, right? So usually some teams do this where the woman will be a goalkeeper, and then they'll have 3 men and 2 women in the field.
Yes.
So well, it works.
Yeah. So we've taken the fine from United Talks. We are going to give it to this gentleman.
Crown you. What coming late?
So right now we are at what? 2 crates of beer now.
we call it quantum.
Quantum now. So Fred is here. He's late. He's he has missed how many? 3 shows or 2 shows?
Bro, he has missed 3 shows. Three shows.
Yeah. So anyway, let him settle down, then we will continue. Simon also says, I wonder how many goals Bandia will concede.
I don't think Bandia is the first team goalkeeper of Turkey. At least
I think it was the Fenerbahce goalkeeper.
The
Galatasaray goalkeeper.
The Galatasaray goalkeeper. Yeah.
So now my take with the dark horses tier 1, tier 2.
Yeah.
Looking at competitions, whether it's World Cup, UEFA Champions League, the FA Cup, all that, most of the time the team with the strongest players or the strongest team actually crashes out early.
Don't scare me, bro.
You remember the 2010 World Cup?
Oh, I just remember that dark horse right now. Norway.
Yes.
Mm.
You remember the 2010 World Cup?
Yeah.
You remember, was it Spain?
Spain, yeah. Spain.
They were kicked out in the group stage.
Oh, I spoke of Norway and they've considered a goal tomorrow.
Commentators gas.
They just considered literally, and it was this guy.
No, but I think Spain won in 2010.
No, which was it? 2014. Yeah, Spain won in 2010. Yeah. Was it 2014?
I think it's
they
2014.
Crashed out.
Yes. That Germany also trashed Brazil 7-1.
Yes. And Brazil had a very, very good squad. So what I've realized is, you see, a team right now, a team like England, a team like Portugal. You remember also Belgium.
Yeah, Belgium.
There was a
time
Belgium.
generation. Yeah.
They had a very, very good squad, and then they utterly disappointed. Yeah, they crashed out. So, there will be also surprises, as you've mentioned. Norway. There are teams like DR Congo. There are teams like Paraguay as well. So I'm a bit excited. The problem with me is I can't stay up late to watch all those games, man.
No worry, we'll help you guys. We'll try and do some content. It's just that half the time I'm at work. Most of the games that kick off at 3:00, I'm at work. They're 3:00 here.
Yeah. Work, so before we jump on to the United debates, let's hear Fred say hi. Oh, he's gone off. Just as I want.
Himself. Yeah, let him sort himself out. Yeah, your camera is off.
Your camera is off.
Oh, okay. You're back.
I'm trying to get.
So actually, we are going to slap you with 2 fines. Number 1, you're wearing an NFL shirt.
Oh.
Of course. Say hi before we jump on to the next one. How's it going?
Hello, everybody. I am so sorry. Very, 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 very. Emphasis on very, very sorry for coming up late. I miss you guys, and I know there are plenty fines, so I accept them. I accept it to my full chest. I was hearing 3 crates of beer. I hope mine is not to 3 crates of beer.
No, it's 4.
That's you. It's you now. We have added one more. Quantum.
Yeah.
4 quantums.
Quantums.
Okay,
yeah.
Now how many crates is it now? Is it up to 5?
It's 4.
Okay, just 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Work on something.
Yeah, I know Casey is listening. Casey and Kimi are listening. They better hope and pray they miss the next one.
so that they take it off you. So we start the fasting and prayer.
Start fasting and prayer so that Casey and Kimi miss the next one, because they are going to have like 10 now.
Wow,
including Tanjay.
Including Tanjay. Tanjay will come when you are saying let's conclude. That's what he does. So anyway, guys, let's go to United now. Manchester United have a lot of news, but let's focus on the major ones. Ederson has been signed. It's quite early. I remember there was a live, which was it the last debate, where we said we are angry with Ineos because they haven't signed a player. They don't have a pre-contract. We mentioned Ederson and said that Ederson has a sort of an agreement with Atletico Madrid, but it seems that things have changed. Reports are stating that the deal is done, but it has to wait till July 1st because of Brexit, Italian laws, and all that. But we can say Ederson is done. So a question to Fred, then we go to Awesome, then we go to United Talks. Ederson, is he a good signing or not? Simple question.
I already did a video regarding this, and like I said, I think he's an okay player. But for United, I really do not know where he stands, if I'm being honest. I don't know where he fits in. Does he fit in with... is he a perfect replacement for Casemiro? I wouldn't say so. Is he going to work well with Kobe Maino, who is the star boy or the poster boy of our midfield? I really do not know yet. So, like I said in that video, let's just see what he's going to bring, and let's hope he puts up a good performance for us. Let's hope we are adding a good squad person, because I don't see him as a starter. I hope we go and get 2-3 other midfielders that are going to start in that team. But if it's for Ederson to start alongside Kobe Mino, I don't think it works, if I'm being honest. I don't think that's the sign I'm looking for.
You better watch my deep dive on Ederson. Homework to you. Actually, it's a punishment. Go watch that deep dive, and then we'll take away one crate.
Oh, okay. I will do that.
And then make another video as a rebuttal.
All right. I will do that.
Okay, awesome. What do you think? Yeah.
Well, I think signing Ederson, well, up to the season, has he been on Manchester United's radar? That is the number one question. I think about 3 weeks ago, I put out a video and I said, I hope we don't sign players based on opportunity costs instead of our scale of preference. João Neves that went to Atletico Madrid, if you could remember, about 1 month or 1.5 months ago, he's actually agreed personal term with Atletico Madrid. I'm talking about Ederson. Then they were now negotiating about the fees and everything, but we don't really know what actually happened. Then all of a sudden, we saw that Atletico Madrid turned to João Gomez and they get it done. Then, in a twinkle of an eye, we just started hearing everything about Ederson. And is it that, as United has talked earlier, is it that we just want to play the whole season without a natural defensive midfielder, or they are still going to sign a defensive midfielder? And if you actually look at the way the world is right now, that position is currently scarce. There's shortage of DMs in world football right now. And the fact that we've been hearing speculations like Manuel Ugarte will be leaving, and I pray he does, because sooner or later we are going to need him. The question is, as Fred has spoken, can Ederson actually do the covers for Kobe Mino? That is the problem, because we actually know that off the ball for Kobe is a problem. And I think United Talk did a bit of analysis about Ederson, and if you look at Ederson's performance for Atlanta for the past 3 seasons, it has been declining. But sometimes
I'll tell you why.
Yeah, sometimes it's actually okay for a player to decline, and the player will actually picks up later. Then I think this past season he played in a 3-4-3. De Vrij was the one.
The irony.
Yeah, and he was the one progressing. So even at the end of the day, I'm beginning to see that Ineos are signing based on the financials. And if you look at the midfielders, the spine of the team, and we can't invest heavily into it, there's going to be a problem. Going to be a problem. Because by now, what happened to Lucien Aguilera? Aguilera is available for around £28 million. That's a natural deal. That's a natural deal.
Yeah, he's a natural deal, but I also think he plays as a hybrid as well. So there's no out and out central midfielder on number 6. That's the challenge. He plays as a hybrid, Lucien Aguilera.
But I hope, one thing I hope is the fact that even if we don't get a natural DM, they should please at least get in a CM that is more good off the ball, that can play that position. We can't rely on Kobe all through the season.
Facts.
And if we continue like that, it's going to haunt us. So that's just it.
United talks. Go on.
So, Ederson. Now, I think this season, this transfer window, I've taken a different approach to analyzing players when it comes to bringing player profile. You know, you can search online and get some articles and read some stuff and put up a whole good, very in-depth script on a player like maybe Elliot Anderson or Ederson or Kobe Mainu or maybe all of the other players we're linked with, right? Adam Watson and co. But I think nothing trumps the eye test. Nothing trumps the eye test. So I look back and I'm like, okay, so how am I going to analyze this guy? Because it was bringing a lot of controversy. Everybody was saying, oh, he's such a good player. I even almost had an argument with somebody. I was like, oh, he's a DM. But they said, no, he's a CM. And I'm like, someone else said, no, he's a hybrid. So that's a CM and a DM. I'm like, okay. Let me go look. Fort Mob lists him as a DM. But in games, when you see him in the formation, the grand scheme of things, he's a CM. Shofar Score lists him as a CM and a DM, predominantly a DM. I'm like, okay, so that means he's a hybrid. So I've seen this on these platforms, right?
Yeah.
Then I go and do the eye test myself. I went and looked at his last 4 games. So I looked at his last 4 games. He actually did well in 3 and didn't do well in the 4th one against Cagliari because he only played 17 minutes. So that's by the way. The other games where he played 120 minutes, 80 minutes, 90 minutes, 90 minutes. Of his last, say, let me say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Of his last 10 games, he's done well in 8. And he has one of the man of the match in 1, which was the AC Milan. Okay, now I've looked at these 10 games. Let me pick the one where he was man of the match and it was a goal scorer. And it was the AC Milan game. So I went back, I watched the full game again. And I did a video and I was pausing in between, like, while I was analyzing. And then as I was watching, I was writing down the attributes I noticed. I was trying to be as positive and as open-minded so I can see, with a clear mind who this Ederson guy is. I've watched him before, but passively. When they won the Euros with Ademola Lookman in the squad, I watched him. I've watched him in the Champions League last season, but passively, not particularly focusing on him because I know Man United have been interested in Ederson since 2023. Now, these are the attributes I wrote down. I've done this in a video. If you want to go watch the full-blown analysis, that's fine. But just for the context for us here, he does not engage unless he's running back to goal. That's Ederson for you. If he's running back to goal, then he engages. Apart from that, he often drifts on the field, especially on the left side of the field. So you look at his heat map, and you see that he's more on the left. And maybe that's because, as Awesome just pointed out, because Dirun is doing the defensive work and Dirun is on the right side in a 3-4-3. Then he is very mobile. So that's a positive for him. I mean, his average rating on Fort Mob for playing 30 games and starting 26 is 7.14. That's decent. 3 yellow cards. That's decent. Played 2,235 minutes last season. That's decent. Now, he's very mobile. Then, especially when he's chasing back, so he can actually run. Then, he's always the first person. Like when he wins the ball back, his first pass is a safe pass. So it must be that short, safe pass. He does not take risks. He will only take risks only when necessary. But that safe pass, positionally, he drifts, but he does not run to his position. He drifts to his position. So you see him just running across the field. He's not running, he's not pacing, not doing like all those all action, but he is moving. And then at the end of the day, that's how he covers the entire field. But then where I had an issue with him is he leaves a lot of space. If his own player wants to pass the ball to him, there's too much of a space to pass the ball to him. So somebody can actually block the passing lane. Then he also leaves a lot of space when he's marking his opponent. Right. So if someone that's why I say he does not engage. So if someone is coming at him, he leaves that space. and allows the person to run into that space. So he's not your all-action midfielder. Then when I hear people say, "Oh, he's Pac-Man, he eats the ground," bro, I've not seen anybody who he's just a box-to-box midfielder, a hybrid midfielder. Then I hear, "Oh, he's a replacement of Casemiro." Nah, I don't think he's actually even the replacement or the backup to Kobe Menu, because he's more of a central midfielder. He's pacey. He can score. He's good in the box. He doesn't score so many goals, but when he scores, he scores. So these are the things. So when you look at all of this and match it all together, did we sign a good player? Yes. Was it a marketing opportunity? Yes. Is he good for the squad? Yes. But is he a first team Casemiro replacement? He could be, but he's not a replacement for Casemiro.
Yeah.
He's not even a DM. Based on maybe it's because of the Italian league or how the league, the manager has set it up. But you see that the squad spaces we needed to fill. Yes.
Yeah.
We needed to fill squad spaces. We have over 60 games to go next season, depending on how far we go in the cups and the competitions. So we need an Ederson. But when it comes to marquee signing, this is just a market opportunity. And we've been interested. It's not like the Ineos did a deep dive and a data analysis on him. Now, we've already tracked him since 2023, before there was ever Ineos, and we got him. But it's all good. Yeah.
What I would say is both of you are correct in terms of Ineos taking the opportunity, because remember also Ineos tried to sign him last summer. It didn't happen. They said we are not going to pay all that for a player who's running down his contract. So I think this is an opportunity. The other thing I wanted to say is in terms of the positioning, when I was doing the deep dive, I actually looked at his last 3 seasons. And I realized that he played primarily 3 positions. The first position he played most of the games was midfield, central midfield position, CM. And then he played defensive midfield. And then in some games, in some moments, he also played as an attacking midfielder. So with respect to all of you saying it, yes, he's all-rounded. He's more of a box-box. He's not a specialist or a specialized CDM.
CDM, yeah.
He's not a CDM. He's more of a central midfielder, so he can play across. When you mentioned about the heat maps, you said he primarily drifts on the left
side,
yeah. On the during the deep dive, I actually did both heat maps for him, Casemiro. I also did his heat map and Kobe's heat map. And I said him and Kobe playing might be complementary because Kobe's heat map, he drifts on the right. If you look at Kobe's heat map, he drifts on the right.
Okay.
And Ederson drifts on the left. So that's
but just to cut you short, the last point I made, which kind of adds to what you're saying now, is that I said he is very tidy on the ball.
Yes.
Often making an easy pass first before taking a risk.
Yes.
So he could. He's 27. He could learn that. And
I also mentioned that. I said that one of his weaknesses is when he's under an aggressive press, he loses positional awareness and direction. He doesn't know what to do with the ball. So what I said, for him to mitigate that, plus what you've said in terms of his fast pass being a short pass when under pressure, is having players playing closer to him. He's more like Kobe. What Kobe has over Ederson is that Kobe can be able to dribble past players and get out of pressure. He's press resistant. Ederson slightly needs to improve on that. Okay. Now, when it comes to long balls, United have very few players that can play long balls.
Only one, sorry, Bruno Fernandes, because the other one that plays long ball is gone. Casemiro, now Bruno.
We can add Martinez to that list, because I mentioned Martinez, I mentioned Casemiro, I also mentioned Bruno. Now, when I looked at his metrics the last 2 seasons, actually Ederson tops everyone else in terms of long balls and its accuracy. So he has very, very good long balls. Now, to answer Osam in terms of what was it? I was to say something as to his performances declining. It's because the last 3 seasons he's been shifted positions. Let me go back to my notes. So in 2023-2024, he played as a CM and primarily drifting as an AM. So his position on paper, he was a CM, but now during play, he was more of an AM.
He will run forward a lot.
Yes, he will run forward a lot. So he was not tasked to do a lot of defensive work. In 24-25, he played more as a CM and both DM and AM. So basically box to box. So last season, 24-25. He played as a box to box. Now, last season, 25-26, he primarily played as a DM. So when you look at his position shifting the last 3 years, of course, you'd expect some decline because he's being asked to do different roles. Okay. Now, why I like Ederson is, as you say, he's someone who's tidy in his tackling, so that means less cards. His injury record is very, very impressive. He
only missed 1 injury last season.
Yes. So he missed, I think, 1. If you look at the last 3 seasons, I think he's only missed, was it 11 games over the last 3 seasons? And bad. He missed 1 month, 4 games due to a meniscus injury. Yeah. So that tells you that he has a very, very good engine on him. Now, him playing with Kobe Mainoo would mean that the 3 of them, Bruno, Kobe Mainoo, and Ederson, will have to be very active in terms of defensive roles. Yes, Ederson covers ground, Kobe doesn't. Bruno can cover ground, but that means that you're sacrificing a bit of the attacking flair. Yeah, when needed. So, in terms of a signing, he's already a good signing. It's just that United need to sort out the tactics. We've seen Carrick is doing a good job in terms of exploiting the players' strengths. And by exploiting the players' strengths, he's masking their weaknesses. So I'm very, very hopeful with Ederson playing under Carrick, because Carrick has shown actually that he can make a player look good, and his weaknesses are hidden. For example, they're not obvious. For example, I in the deep dive I said, since Carrick came on as the head coach, do you know we stopped complaining about Diogo Dalot?
People still complain. People still complain.
I don't think I've ever complained about it.
I've never ever complained, but people still complain. It's so annoying.
There's no match Diogo Dalot plays that he gets less than 6 point something rating. That tells us something. There's no match.
But yet he's the worst player. In fact, we had a live on Friday, and they asked somebody, who would he want for Man United to sell? And if his first word was Diogo Dalot. Why? Someone that is always available, never injured.
There's a lot of feedback.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. So Diogo Dalot is always available, but Man United fans don't like him. He's a right back. You don't expect him to be a super finisher or goal scorer, because when you ask them why they don't like him, the first thing they say is he's missing too many guilty chances.
Yeah. I like how Premium has come on to the chat on TikTok. He's quite strong, and today I've been very nice. Today I've been very, very nice.
We get them every once in a while. Don't worry.
Yeah. So he says, "Hello guys, good evening. Is this analysis also putting into consideration a player's role as directed by the head coach?" So it seems he didn't come on when I was talking about the last 3 seasons.
Oh my days.
I mean, a player plays whatever role that is directed by the coach to feed their system. So, Premium, I don't know whether TikTok allows you to
rewind. Or maybe just head over to YouTube and rewind.
And rewind. Actually, we've mentioned that. So, but welcome. Fred, brother.
Yeah.
So Elliot Anderson is too expensive. United are not going for him. Is Tonali the next best thing?
Is Tonali the next best thing? Honestly, I wouldn't mind a Tonali. I would love a Tonali, though I would prefer a Matheus Fernandez first before a Tonali. If we are doing scale of preference, I would prefer we get in Matheus Fernandez first instead of missing this opportunity because it's a big one. Instead of Tonali, because bargaining with Newcastle is going to be very, very difficult. Very, very. Especially with the sales of Gordon, 20 million euros to Barcelona. Manchester United is going to get it very tough with Newcastle. So I think we should get in Matheus Fernandes first before thinking about Tonali. Yes, we need all the midfielders we can get, but let's do Matheus Fernandes first. That's my opinion.
Awesome. What do you think?
I'll be going with Fred because how old is Bruno Fernandes? 32. Yeah.
31.
And
He's going to be
let,
32
let's
soon.
say approximately he has 2 years or 3 years. Let's say 2 years left at Manchester United. Then why not bring him in? Bring Matheus Fernandes ahead of Tonali for now. Then let him come it with that role with Kobe. Then at times he will play the Bruno role and he will be an understudy under Bruno. And thank God they are from the same nationality. So the chemistry and the bond is actually there. Because I think we need Matheus Fernandes first. 21 years. Sandro Tonali is 25 or 26. And
26.
Newcastle,
26.
yeah, Newcastle will actually be bargaining with Newcastle this time around. It will be very, very hard to convince them. And if you look at Matheus Fernandes, he was got from Southampton, 38 plus 4 million add-ons. That's 42. And they said they want double of it, round figure 80 million pounds. United can still negotiate. And as soon if whichever club they are selling the boy to, Southampton have a 15 million pounds release clause. And don't forget, West Ham have to raise 100 million pounds from player sales this summer. And in as much as I said, United have an edge because most of our primary targets are not at the World Cup, and most of them wants to come to the club. But if we are being over calculative and we don't act fast, we say, oh, they don't want to overpay agents, they don't want to overpay for a club. PSG are actually on it also, and Arsenal is also on Tonali. So they should just define what they want to do and a way to go through it. So that's it.
United talks. I heard a rumor last week that if we get a certain player, Mbumo could leave after a year, but as I said, it's a rumor.
Oh, yeah. That is obviously a rumor. We're not talking. Buma has not done anything to deserve being sold. And like I said, just to add to what Simon says, big up to Simon. He says the one question he's asked is, what's our obsession with Newcastle? We've been talking about them and dealing with them for 2 years and all of that. But then
I'm looking for that comment.
Yeah, it's about almost the last one, the third to last. Why the sudden obsession with Newcastle?
Yeah.
Now, speaking of Matheus Fernandes, speaking of Man United's kind of strategy with getting midfielders, just like Fred said, I will go with Matheus Fernandes because it's an opportunity. Matheus Fernandes is a player I watched in Southampton. I did not like that guy. What I mean by not like is I not like that guy because he was good. That's what I mean. He played against us and played. I said, the first leg under Amorim, like, who is this guy playing as an attacking midfielder, right? Now, let's not make that mistake of not having an heir to Bruno Fernandes. Let's not make that mistake of not having an heir to Bruno Fernandes. It's just Fernandes passing to Fernandes passing to a Fernandes. That's it. We move on. Because for you to be able to have a good player, this guy is a hybrid player. Plays as a left end, right end, central attacking midfielder, defensive midfielder, central midfielder, right? So someone who can play as a central midfielder, only 21 or 22, who's going to be 22 soon, this is the time to actually mold him in the mold of Bruno Fernandes, because we don't have any other person other than Bruno Fernandes in that number 10 role. I know we want to try and say, okay, Cunha can play it. We want to try and say Mbumo can play, but they will not give you what a number 10 does, what Bruno does. Bruno does not play number 10. He plays as an all-round midfielder. At least if you watch the podcast he did with in the Diary of a CEO, he plays in that square he drew out. That's where, and that's typically what Mateus plays.
And how come guys were saying he was being played out of position then? Because he did say that was his favorite position.
Yeah, he said number 6 was his favorite, but that's a trigger.
He also said he played as a 6. Under
Ole and other Ten Hag,
and this guy were the double 8.
Come on, I want us to touch that now, because when I watched that podcast, I actually clipped that video. I was to make a video on it and ask guys. You kept making noise, or United fans kept making noise. Oh, he's being played out of position,
and the commentators as well. And the commentators as well. Oh, he's being played in his favorite position now. He's getting all the assists.
United talks. Let's dive into this. Bruno playing the number 10 role, but he's still coming deep
back.
When we are off before.
If you
want to start attack, you still come deep
to receive the ball.
So what's that all about?
No, because everybody, I'll just tell you the fact. Everybody thinks that a player's position is the permanent position on the field of play.
Mm-hmm.
Like me now, I'm not going to be able to run as much all around the field. I play in central midfield. Sometimes I play defensive midfield, but I'm not going to be able to run around all of the field, obviously, because of age and stuff. I used to play as a winger. I used to play on the right wing a lot. I run down the flanks. I play right back, right wing, and I cross the ball and all. But in answering Simon, who is asking, is Fernandes playing in the World Cup? The Mateus is not playing in the World Cup, but Bruno is playing in the World Cup. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Mateus has a lot of years. He's just 21, bro. He's got like 4 more World Cups to go. So that aside. Now, I know that obviously I'll not be able to run around. So this year in my team, they put me in attacking midfield a lot. So I'm only subbing off the attacking midfielder. It doesn't require me to run a lot. Now, compare that to Bruno. He's everywhere on the field of play. He's playing on the right, he's crossing balls in. He's playing on the left, he's crossing balls in. He's coming back to receive the ball from deep and playing that long ball. We need a Mateus to just be his understudy for 1 year. And guess what? If Bruno says next year, I'm done, quick transition. Then we find another replacement. By then, Mateus should be coming to his own at 23. So it would be like us getting a new Bruno Fernandes in 2020. If you remember January 2020, that's what it would be like. It's just a quick transition. It's an opportunity that has a very great long-term impact on this team. We need to see it. And we need, like, if we bring him at 21 years, we mold him into that midfielder, that attacking midfielder, that is an all-rounder, that can run back and run. And he will quickly get into the big club mentality, right? Early. 1 year is enough to actually bed him in. Then if Bruno is out the squad, he comes in, fits in like a glove, right? Squad depth. Right now, if Bruno is out the squad, we'll start scrambling. Okay, should we play Messi Mount there? Oh no, should we play Menu there? Oh no, should we play Xerxes? Oh, should we play Cunha? No, Mbumo. No. Cunha, yes, can play it, but Cunha is not a midfielder. Mbumo can play it, he's not a midfielder. Right?
Yeah. Speaking of gloves, we had put a pin on this. Roy is slapping us with his glove. He's saying Angelo Stiller.
Yeah.
What do you think about it? Yeah, let's go back to it. What do you think before Fred speaks on
Angelo Stiller? Yeah, I think it's also another opportunity. But the transition from the German league to the English league is where the issue is for me. At Stuttgart, I watched him play. He's a good player. He's an all-rounder. He's your younger version of Toni Kroos. But I'm not going to try to compare him to Toni Kroos because the standard is way too high for that. But for a German, he's good. Angelo Stiller is good. We're not taking that away. But this is the transition. And is Stiller a player we need now? That's the question. or is he an opportunity? Is this some, because right now we need to plug holes. There's a whole lot of holes in this squad that we need to plug, and Stiller is not the priority, right? But if it's in a situation where we're trying to increase squad depth, I'll say, okay, yes, Stiller, go for it. Everybody loves Stiller. Everybody's lauding the guy, and I know the guy is good, no doubt. I've watched him. He's very coordinated on the ball. In fact, he's Kobe's replacement, if I'm going to be very honest with you. That guy can sit Kobe on the bench because the guy has a lot of minutes under his belt. The guy has a lot of experience playing in Germany, but then can he translate that thing to the Premier League? And that's where the big question is, right? Because we've seen a lot of players from Germany finding it difficult to translate into the Premier League. So, yeah, but if Man United have the money to sign him, sign him. But if we don't have the money to sign him, might as well go for the priority now. I hear we have 250 million. Let's go get those midfielders. Even if it's all hybrid midfielders we want to get all hybrid midfielders and then convert one to a central defensive midfielder. If you want to go for a central defensive midfielder, go for one, get him, lock it down. Because the truth is, this World Cup is going to pull up with a lot of deceptions. And it's going to make us to think that a player is who he's not, because it's the World Cup. So it's a whole lot. But still, if you have the opportunity to get him, fine. But if it's not a priority, I wouldn't bother going there.
Yeah. So Fred, would Stiller be a steal?
Yeah, drop it in. Yeah.
I think so. He would be, but honestly, like we've been saying, like I think Ramosom initially mentioned, yes, their transfer plans. It's always not straightforward for me. So I don't know if we are going to get Stiller, but yes, I would love him at Manchester United. I think it's good to have plenty squad players. We need them. He might not come in and start immediately, but I think with time he's going to get a place in the team. But we know Ineos, they're already using style to tell us that we're only going to sign 3 midfielders. Even though we know we need more than 3 midfielders in this team. Like I've been saying since the beginning of last season, if Arsenal, who carried third, like who were third the season before last, bought 7 players and they won the EPL, and already they are going for a new set of transfer. They want to get almost 3 players, and we just got third, and we are only going for 3 midfielders, and we are playing Champions League. I don't think we have a plan, honestly. But like I also told Ineos want to use minimum funds to get maximum results. Is it going to work? I don't know. I'm yet to see the drama unfold, but at the same time, I just wish we can do better in the transfer markets.
Yeah. So awesome. Speaking of gloves, has Onana returned to the team?
He's back.
Well, before that, I think I need to jump on that Steelers matter because in all of every Manchester United target, I think Steeler is the one I love the most. And let me say this, and we can save this video for later. Angelo Steeler will be the Tony Cruz of his generation. In every generation, there are some certain footballer. You have one of them in every generation. We have Bruno Fernandes in this present generation, and these are special kinds of people that you can't take it away. And United Talk said, will Steeler adapt quickly? I don't still see Steeler struggling in the Premier League.
Does it give you the Adam Watson vibes?
If you have Steeler's vision, IQ compared to Bruno Fernandes' vision and IQ in Manchester United, it is gone.
That means we'll have to play Kobe in the number 6 then.
Yeah. Steeler will actually flap the ball from that center half down to Mbeumo or down to Kua, whichever is available, and that ball will actually reach.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to him, like for real, but yeah.
But it is what it is. But there's one thing: if I prefer Manchester United signing midfielders apart from Matheus Fernandes, because I know if you get Matheus Fernandes, Tonali is out. He's not coming. Then I prefer getting two midfielders for 40, 40 million pounds each. Then bring one midfielders that is around 70 million pounds. It's sorted.
I agree.
Because of one reason. And I think I made a video this past week. One of the reasons why Ederson will triumph at Manchester United is because of the transfer fee. The noise will not be on him. But if it were to be a player that we actually got for like 80 million pounds, 100 million pounds, the media will be the center of attraction. So it's actually okay for us. And this is what I've actually been longing for Manchester United, but for long. We ought to have been doing this instead of signing players for some substantial amount of money, and the media will not let them rest. Imagine Mbeumo and Kuma did not pick up at the start of the season. What will have happened?
They'll be cooked by now.
Yeah. So that's just the way it is. But speaking on Onana, I said Onana coming back to Manchester United. Yeah, and if the club actually wants to sell him, or the way the fans are actually viewing it, it won't be easy. And one of the main reasons it won't be easy, last upper season, we didn't make Champions League. Then about 25% cuts was taken away from their wages per week. Onana is earning 6.2 million pounds a year at Manchester United, 120,000 pounds a week. Now, this past season, his wages, he has like about 25% deduction. He went on loan. Then look at his age right now. I think he's 29. And by the time his contract will be expiring in 2028, he will be 31 or 32. And looking at his performance way back, he will be moving to another club. No club will actually pay him that amount of money. And let's consider the fact that from where we are, this part of the world, he will actually sit on that bench and run down that contract and make sure he actually collects that wages, because it's not easy. He has a family and he should be planning for retirement. If they
and African tax,
yes, and you know how the UK tax is also about 40% or whatever, from 120,000 pounds every week. It's crazy. So if they did not find a common ground, and I think the way they can actually find a common ground, if they want to, maybe they'll be able to loan him again. Then the wages will be shared between United, some certain percentage, and the club is being loaned to. If they don't find a common ground, he will remain at Manchester United. There's no way they can force him out of the team. And we fans, we tend to forget that in this contract, there are clauses. You can't just force him out. So that's just it on Onana.
Okay. Big up, Simon. You've been a huge follower, and thanks a lot for the good comments. Have a good night as well. Hope to see you in tomorrow's live. Now, when it comes to Onana, before United talks speaks on it, I wouldn't mind keeping him for a season. To be honest, I wouldn't mind keeping him so that the extra amount to buy a goalkeeper can go to another position, like a right back, a left winger, or a second striker. I wouldn't mind, honestly. And I tend to believe when a player like Onana, who's 29, is competing versus a player who's 24 this coming season, he will have to step up. He'll have to show like, I'm here to stay. It's not about sitting on the bench and just collecting the check. You will have to like prove a point, So I wouldn't mind keeping him so that we shelve or United shelve that amount and sign another position, because Bande is leaving. Tom Heaton signed an extension. We know why he signed. Basically, homegrown talent for the Champions League.
That guy is so loyal.
Yeah.
So loyal. He just agrees for homegrown talent.
Yeah.
Loyal. That's too loyal for a player. He doesn't mind playing, but just because he wants to be part of the homegrown talent quota.
Yes, quota. And of course, we know that he's also part of the goalkeeping coaching team. And I don't think Ineos. I read an article, was it yesterday or on Friday, that stated that United are not going to hire any backroom staff unless it's absolutely necessary. So him being there, it's a plus. But Onana coming back, I don't mind. Honestly, for 1 year, I don't mind. He can play an odd game here and there. And of course, having that competition with San Elements can push him to perform better. Because I'm looking at Onana when he was at Inter, he was competing with Handanovic.
Handanovic was good.
Yeah, Handanovic was good, but for some reason, Onana stepped up and he placed Handanovic on the bench. So that's my take on Onana. I'm like, 1 season, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah. What's your take in it?
I'm a bit touch and go on Onana because I was backing him when he was here. I mean, when we were going for Emiliano Martinez, I was like, no, Onana is better. But now Emiliano Martinez is a European winner. Onana hasn't won a European trophy. But that aside, and Joe Onana has triggered a lot of fans. He's given a lot of fans PTSD. Europa League final PTSD, Grimsby Town PTSD and stuff. So it's going to be really tough for me to say, oh, I want Onana back at the club. I was hearing about Radek Vitek, but then you also have Peter Cech planting seeds in his ears by telling him he needs playing time. I would have said Radek Vitek, considering the amount of games we have next season, you can come and compete with Senne Lomans. And Lomans puts up a crazy show, and then you can usurp him with a clean sheet, and all is well. He's good with his feet. He's good with the long balls. He claims he's tall, and his high claims are really high. He's a United player from the academy and stuff. I've really tracked him since like maybe 2021 when he was quite a young lad and all of that. So, yeah. But you mentioned something that made me want to actually comment. I would say in the goalkeeping department, we might not necessarily need to sign because we can just pull from the academy and make anyone a second goalkeeper. Radek Vitek, if he says he wants more playing time, probably send him on another loan to a bigger club. That actually will help him. If you remember a certain goalkeeper we have, who is the current, we used to be our goalkeeper, the current Bayern Leverkusen goalkeeper, Kovac, or what does name?
Yeah, Kovac.
Kovac. Now, that guy too was also a good prospect. Now he's a top goalkeeper in the top team, right? So Radek Vitek needs that kind of experience. Probably send him to Germany or send him to like maybe one of these, maybe Portugal or something, so he can actually play first team football even in Europe. That would also help. And then maybe extend his contract. Since he wants playing time, give him playing time. But then he can also be a very strong because I think he's only 21. He can also be a very strong competition for Senne Lomans. I've seen some good analysis online, people saying, oh, it's giving us De Gea and Henderson competition, right? The kind of scenario we had. It's also giving us, if you remember, De Gea and this Argentine goalkeeper we had.
Romero.
Sergio Romero. Now, it's giving us that kind of competition because the truth is these are, good goalkeepers. Sergio Romero went on to play after some time and then eventually retired. De Gea is still playing till now. So these are the issues. I feel like maybe give him even to a rival club in England. Let him test his resolve. Send him to like maybe one of these upcoming, maybe Coventry or something. Just coming into the league. And then from there he grows. He gains first team football and continues, plays in the cups. In fact, becomes the number one goalkeeper. I mean, who is not looking at Ruben Roofs now? Sunderland goalkeeper. He's so good, right? So these are the things. St. Lawrence has staked his claim. He's earned his spot with 8 clean sheets from last season. So he deserves that number 1 spot. So you need to come and usurp him and all of that. So based on that, I don't think we need to spend any money on goalkeepers. Them of me is there. And then there's still like 2 other younger guys who are also there that can come up and fill in the spot. We don't need so many goalkeepers. We just need like 3. If he gets bad, Tom Hitton steps in and he will still do a good job.
Yeah, he still do a good job.
Yeah.
Premium 26 is on TikTok. He's saying, I see Bruno later moving to a deep lying midfielder role in his career.
110%.
Yeah.
Look at Bernardo Silva now.
Yes, true. He also adds and says, if I won that United recruitment team, I'd go all out for Alex Scott and Mateus Fernandes.
I would agree 110%.
I
would agree.
I also agree.
But that
Alex,
also it's another hybrid again. So
Alex Scott is actually good. I remember when he played versus United, he actually gave United a headache. United a headache in that midfield. He actually was very good against Casemiro and Kobe, and they couldn't catch him.
Sorry to cut you short. Speaking of midfielders, while we are all having that conversation, I was doing my comparisons here, and I was comparing any name that's been mentioned. So Angelo Stiller was mentioned, and Mateus Fernandes was mentioned, Bruno Fernandes was mentioned, and Alex Scott now mentioned. In 25-26 season, nobody comes close when it comes to progressive carries. Bruno Fernandes. Of these 4 players I mentioned, nobody comes close to progressive carries. Bruno Fernandes. In duels, Mateus Fernandes trumps all of them. Duels Mateus Fernandes has 82% duel percentage. Next is Angelo Stiller, 78% duel percentage. Bruno is 27%. So that tells you Bruno is more of an attacking midfielder, while these other guys are central midfielders. Alex Scott, 66%. Passes 1. Mateus Fernandes, bro. Mateus Fernandes trumps all of them by a mile. The closest to him is Alex Scott. Mateus Fernandes, 83%. Alex Scott is 78%. Progressive carries, Bruno trumps all of them. Forward passes, Angelo Stiller trumps all of them. Angelo Stiller is 97, Bruno is 87. When it comes to forward pass percentage, Angelo Stiller still trumps all of them, followed by Mateus Fernandes. Key passes, Bruno, 99%, 99% key passes. Then the next is Angelo Stiller. Then Alex Scott comes in last with 35%. Progressive passes, neck and neck, Bruno and Stiller, 98 and 97. Then in minutes played, obviously the most minutes played is Bruno Fernandes, 3,403 from just last season. So why I'm comparing this or saying this is because I see that if you notice, Mateus Fernandes, Alex Scott, and most likely Angelo Stiller all have a similar kind of characteristic when it comes to the way they play. Bruno Fernandes just out of the world, when it comes to them. So for me, I feel these players we've mentioned are the players my end should just go for.
Yeah, Bruno Fernandes is a freak of nature. He's as Osama has said, he's one in a generation, and you'll just get one in a generation. Probably Scott is the next one, or Mateus is the next one. When you mentioned about progressive passes, creative passes, I actually saw a compilation of missed chances that Bruno should have gotten assists. I was furious, man. I was furious. The number of chances, Bumo, Cunha, Sheshko, it went all the way back to Hoyland. Like there was a season Bruno could have had like 30 assists.
That's why I'm against this Igor Thiago guy coming to Man United.
Yeah.
Igor Thiago plays and he will have 7 chances. He will miss 6 and score 1.
I actually watched the highlights of the Brazil game. He missed a very simple goal.
That's why I'm saying it. Yes. He misses a lot of chances. Then imagine Bruno has 7 opportunities, create 7 chances for Igor Thiago, and he misses 6. Bro, Casemiro gave him a long through an up through.
Yeah.
On goal. Bro still missed it.
Yeah. Worldwide Reds, big up is saying it's Mega the missed assists. I'm telling you, the assists. You remember the Diogo Dalot miss versus West Ham?
Oh, bro, the one that got Tenag sacked. Oh, bro.
Now you can imagine if United had a clinical forward like Benzema or Haaland.
Even Haaland. That's what I was going to say. Even Haaland, he will not miss those chances.
I mean, Bruno could have had like 40 assists.
40 assists
anyway,
by now.
Yeah. Fred keeps looking at his phone. It seems that he wants to buy the shares that the Glazers are selling. So, Fred, how many shares are you buying, and what do you think of the younger members of the Glazer family wanting to sell is it Class B shares? Yeah. You're muted, Fred. You're muted.
Fred, you're muted.
You're muted. You're muted.
I was saying my talk has been shaky, so the whole thing is having like a crack. So I've been trying to switch on and switch off my data. That's what I'm doing. But I think the last thing I heard was you got Thiago missing chance.
No, the question to you is about the Glazers. The younger Glazers wanted to sell their shares.
Sorry?
The younger Glazers wanted to sell their Class B shares.
I'll be very happy. They should do it on time. They should
I like that response.
Hey, son.
Can they do it today? So let's just get it over with. So they will just leave us alone. Because I mean, we've been waiting for this for a whole
20 years. 20 years.
No more than that. They should just go. They should carry their problems and their wala and go and leave us alone.
We've been waiting for this since Arsenal last won their Premier League.
I didn't want to mention Arsenal. I didn't want to mention Arsenal, but because you've mentioned them, we just want to remind Arsenal fans that the Champions League is not for everyone.
Yes, bro. And winning it twice is also not for everyone.
You guys are not nice.
I'm sorry, Arsenal fans, but I had to throw this shit because you guys didn't let me rest throughout the season, bro.
Yeah. So awesome. Before we went live, you mentioned something to do with also Ineos struggling. Their petrochemical company struggling with the US Iran conflict. Now they have the first refusal when it comes to these shares. What happens now?
I don't know what they are going to decide, because it's actually everything on Ineos right now, because their club in France also, I think they want to put it on sale.
Yeah, because I think did they crash? Did they lose the playoff?
Yes.
Let
me confirm.
Okay, because Ineos right now, I don't know. In as much as everything has been from one depth to another, and
no, they won actually.
They won.
Oh, so they stayed up.
Yeah, they won 4-1.
Yeah, okay.
Go on,
so
awesome.
So I don't know how they are going to do it, because right now the article I read was about the younger Glazers assessing their options of selling their stakes, because right now there was actually a list that was released by Forbes, I think in the middle of last week, the list of the most valuable clubs in the world right now, and it is quite pathetic that we fall short about, is it 300,000 short to Barcelona. And if you could remember the valuation in December, it was Real Madrid was 7.7, Manchester United 7.5, and within the space of 6 months, Real Madrid they are actually around 10 billion as valuation, and Barcelona has gone up. I think Barcelona should be 7.6.
7.5,
7.5. United 7.3 or
7.2.
7.2. So I think that was one of the major reasons why these young Glazers, Edwards, and the likes are accessing their options to sell their stakes, and it's a major move. They say poco a poco, so it is little by little. So we may come to the end of the year and some of them will actually be thinking of selling their shares again, and it's good. And the fact that they actually have um, an agreement with Ineos, whenever they are willing to sell the club, Ineos will be made to also sell their shares. So they should sell it as soon as possible, like Fred said. So it's a welcome development. But if they go sell it to Ineos, there will be problem. United will be sold anytime soon. And that is one of the game the Glazers have been playing. If they mistakenly get Ineos 30% in Manchester United, this club will be sold in less than a year, because it was part of those games that they played to take over Manchester United. So there is a lot that is actually backing that up. If you have 30%, you can actually facilitate a club being sold or buy more shares. At that rate, you actually buy the previous one. So that's it.
Now, United talks. United, despite the Glazers wanting to sell their Class B shares, Ineos struggling because of the US-Iran conflict, their petrochemical side. United also want to refinance their debt. What's going on?
So, based on the debt refinancing, when I heard that, I quickly Googled trying to find out why an entity will want to refinance their debt. And I see it's a smart move to try to kick the can down the road a little bit, and then be so that they can be able to do business. That is a debt that was put on us by Glazers. Partially, it's good because it helps us now, considering the amount of money that. Considering, I just saw a comment now that's distracting. Maybe you should delete it or something.
Actually, it's saying it's you who should delete because it's on your page.
Okay, I'm going to delete it then. I'll delete it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So, as I was saying, basically, yeah, I've deleted it. Now,
Okay.
what I'm trying to say in effect is the Ineos going through what they're going through is what happens in business every time. Maybe one thing happens somewhere in one part of the world, it affects your business. And it's Ineos Petrochemical, not Ineos Manchester United. Yes, money and stuff is there, but then them refinancing that debt is a smart move for them. But then I would be sitting on this Ineos table. If the truths, the stories that are there, the rumors that are out there are true, I'll be sitting on this Ineos table and be saying, so why am I stressing myself, fighting tooth and nail to actually bring this club up when the younger owners want to sell? Or should I do a hostile takeover and buy off those shares from these younger ones and relieve them of the stress, and then get probably closer and closer to 50%, if you know what I mean? So these are the things. So the issue there is not that Ineos cannot do it. Ineos can, but they're actually they are shrewd businessmen who understand what it means to run a business and are able to take advantage of the opportunity right in front of them. The fact that they can actually refinance that debt is a smart move. In the long run, will it affect us? Maybe, and also maybe not, because you think about the amount of revenue you are going to generate just by being in the Champions League. This is actually what they wanted. And obviously, Omar Berada, being at the center of these things, understands how it works, how businesses like this work. So not just the revenue from just being in Champions League, the sponsorships as well.
Yeah.
Right. There are some partners that they will get that will give them 10 million, 5 million. I mean, the betting company, even though I didn't really like it, but the betting company that they got, I think 6 million a year or 12 million a year from for
Mhm.
for
20 million.
20 million a year for training kits, training kit sponsorship.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the sponsorship that's going to be on the front of the jersey. It's just for the training kit. And
Mhm.
20 million a year is not bad, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the sponsorships that will come, you can imagine a sponsor can come and say, okay, all Man United UEFA Champions League training kit, I want to sponsor for 50 million. That's a lot, right?
Yeah.
So whatever
Yeah.
we can do to bring money in, that's fine. In the long run, is it good? Yes, because we're going to get more revenue, especially with more games, Champions League and all of that. In the short term, it's difficult because it's a lot of money that we're actually trying to kick down the road, if you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
it's a smart business move. I'm like, credit to them, because they also have the stadium planning and negotiations to actually go. And it's just, my issue is with the Glazers, not even with the Ineos at all.
Yeah. So Manchester United is currently looking to refinance $425 million of debt that is set to mature in 2027. According to the recent financial reports, the club is in early discussions with major banks to explore the tapping of the private placement market, where they can secure funds directly from large institution investors like insurance companies. So the current share price is at $21.95 per share. That's the current price.
Yeah.
So the current debt, that money stems from the 2015 arrangement that holds a highly favorable interest rate of 3.79%. The refinancing is important because of the global interest rates have been rising significantly since 2015. The refinancing in the current market means Manchester United will likely face a much higher interest rate, potentially adding £10 million to 15 million extra per year. So it means instead of United paying 15 million pounds per year, they'll be paying 10 million pounds more. So it's a total of 25 million pounds per year in the debt servicing costs. In terms of potential capital increase, due to the strong initial interest from institutional lenders, the clubs might expand the transactions up to $500 million. So the club might expand the transaction up to $500 million, giving them additional liquidity to use for stadium infrastructure or transfer activity. So as you've said, United Talks is a smart move, because it means that now, in terms of cash, Manchester United might have up to 500 million to spend. And of course, yes. And of course, this season, this summer, United will have a lot of money coming to the club. Remember, there are sales, there is UCL money, participation, and merchandise, plus TV broadcast. Also, United have sent a couple of players to the World Cup, so that means they'll be getting some amount from FIFA. And of course, they are looking to expand their global reach in terms of sponsorship deals. So I read an article somewhere, however, I didn't verify. I tried to do research, I didn't see a lot in it. Is that United are also trying to see whether they can get some African outreach programs in terms of corporates as their shared sponsors. Like we have Visit Rwanda. I think Visit Rwanda is on Arsenal. Which other club there?
Arsenal, yeah.
Is it Brentford or Brighton? That
I think
is it.
So.
Brentford, I think was.
It's a blue team. It's Brighton, I think.
Yeah, they also have Visit Rwanda, so they're also exploring the same. But when I tried to dig deep, I didn't see quite a lot on that. So, guys, it's been a very, very long show. We've discussed the World Cup, United, the Glazers, Bruno Fernandes, Mateus Fernandes, Angelo Stiller, Onana. We've discussed a lot. And there is a comment from Worldwide Reds. He says that Dalot is the only player I know that gets in the best positions and misses every time.
Oh my days. My United fans. Behave yourself. Yes. We can criticize Dalot, but he's always available, bro.
Let me see. Let me ask Gemini. How many chances has Dalot missed? Let's see. So Dalot has created 28 chances the Premier League last season, 25-26, across all competitions. So it doesn't give me how many he's missed.
He's missed only 4 big chances in 25-26.
But
campaign.
he's created 28.
Bro, like, what do you need again? He's missed 4 big chances in the whole of 25-26 campaign.
Yeah. So let's do minus. Fred. 28 minus 4.
He's doing okay, if I may say. He's available. Yes, he gets into that position, but I mean, it's not his primary obligation to score goals. It's just that I feel like as Manchester United fans, we believe, and then by the time we watch other clubs, we watch Reece James and the rest, we are expecting these things from our fullbacks. But then let's give him a slack. Let him be. He's available. I don't depend on Mazarawi. Mazarawi is actually injured right now. We don't know if he's going to the World Cup. We don't know
he's
when
there. He's there. It's just he's not going to be fully active, and he plays left back for them. There's already a right back in Hakimi. So
is he going to be fit enough? Is he even going to be a competition to Dalo? Because I didn't see him as a competition last season. I don't think he's going to do any better this season. So
let me tell you about Mazraoui. You see, Mazraoui, Zakzi, Ugarte, they remind me of players like Anthony Martial. These are players that have a diesel engine. They need to start up slowly and then they pick momentum. There are players who can't sit out a game and then you expect them to come and hit immediately. Exactly. So you look at those players, they need game time, they need match time, they need to play a couple of games for them to get back into form, So Mazraoui has been a very, very good signing. You remember under Erik ten Hag when he was consistently playing, that guy even put in a shift as a number 10.
Yes, in the Champions League.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know why United fans expect some players to be like in a FIFA game. But anyway,
I can just add to that just by saying that Mazraoui is very injury prone, no doubt, and literally just got injured in their recent game in the 30th minute. Was subbed off. Yeah, right.
Yeah, but I also believe it's also to do with rehab
and rhythm as well.
Rehab and now. United Talks escaped this question.
Okay.
And Fred is also here, so he will help you. I actually have a red. I on my Google Doc, I marked it as red and wrote United Talks didn't answer. So Osam said that he's supporting Portugal.
Oh.
So let's go to United Talks. Which team are you supporting in the World Cup? And then Fred, and then I'll tell you my team.
I think I'll support Portugal as well because of Bruno Fernandes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I'll have other teams that I will support as well, like Bruno Fernandes and Cristiano Ronaldo, because those are going to be headlines of the World Cup. Ronaldo is actually the headline of this World Cup. Then I'll be watching Brazil to an extent because of Casemiro, and even though Casemiro is a minor player, but Casemiro and Cunha, and now Ederson, if he gets the chance to play. But not Casemiro Neymar. Neymar is going to the World Cup just to warm the bench. I mean, there's Brian. If he talks too much, there's Brian, there's Cunha, there's loads of young players. There's Esteval. No, Esteval isn't injured. There's Hendrick.
And there's also, is it Ryan?
Ryan Bournemouth. Then so these are they can fill in these spots. Then there's Martinelli, but
nah. Why are you mentioning UCL losers?
I wanted to gauge the room, and I understand where the room is headed.
Don't even mention that other defender. They are still.
He's not going to make it. He's not making it in the starting lineup. Marquinhos will bench him in that one.
Yeah, they are still looking. They are still looking for the
ball in moon.
Yeah, in the moon.
So Brazil is going to be another team I'll be watching. Which other team? But I know Portugal is number one. Then I would like to see how France do with this year's squad.
Yeah,
because these guys are those are the guys. Then Cote d'Ivoire as well, like I mentioned earlier.
Yeah. So Fred. 1 minute. We have 45 seconds to go.
Well, the obvious answer, I'm supporting Portugal. We are not even.
Come on, guys.
We are
It's
supporting Portugal.
just because all of you are in the same WhatsApp group that I'm not.
Nah, bro. I even have a Portugal. I even have a Portugal fan jersey. Just so you know.
See you.
Okay, my team has always been Brazil. Let me just mute Osam for a bit. My team has always been Brazil, but I've also been following France a bit, so I'll watch Brazil France. Now you can imagine when that final was there, Brazil versus France, how torn I was.
Yeah.
Because those two are my teams.
Torn loyalties,
in terms of African teams, Nigeria, Cameroon, but it is what it is.
Whoa, like you mentioned, both of them are they're both out of the World Cup.
Out of the World Cup. So I'll also be following Portugal. I think Portugal have a very, very strong squad. Yeah. The other team I also want to see how they perform. It's this Congo team. I want to see how they perform.
Yeah, that storyline is like scripted.
Yes, they might be an odd team that gets to the quarterfinal just like that. You know,
I will not be surprised.
They can be like, they can be like that. You remember that Ghana team that was knocked out by Uruguay? So they can be such kind of a team. Now, in terms of players, the players I want to actually see, the likes of Olise. I want to see how Olise performs. Yeah. Fred, you're muted.
Mister is going to give us 10 over 10. I'm not even doubting.
the guy will come with aura, step on the pitch, go back, come in and score goals.
I want to see how Olise performs. I also want to see how players like Ryan perform, because I think Ryan is a very, very young striker, and I'm sure a lot of big clubs will be looking at.
I think his price is going to go up after this World Cup.
Yeah, his price is going to go up. I also want to see how Thomas Tuchel is going to handle the media pressure, because I'm sure he will have.
I feel sorry for England. I feel sorry for England. I'm afraid.
Yeah, and if I were him, I wouldn't have signed that extension before the World Cup. I would have signed it after. But anyway, looking at it from another point of view, if he's sacked, he's getting more money.
Good business. Good businessman. Smart guy.
Probably, who knows? Probably United told him like, "Hey, we are giving Carrick 2 years. Then, my guy, you're coming here after 2 years." So.
Wow.
You sign an extension, you'll have your money. So anyway, gentlemen, any last words before we end the big debate? Anyone? Awesome should be the last one.
So Fred, go then.
Okay,
I'll go.
Last words for me will be, Portugal, please bring this cup back home. I am tired of this ridicule from Messi fans. Please, Ronaldo, lift the World Cup so that we can be happy. I'll be watching Morocco as well, and I just hope to have a nice time with this World Cup. Since Nigeria is not going, which would have been my first option, I'm just going to enjoy Portugal. I'm going to enjoy other teams, and I hope this World Cup turns out good. That's it.
Yeah, from my end as well. World Cup is going to be very difficult to navigate for me based on time. For any of the later games from 5, I'll probably catch. But any ones like 3, 12, I'll be at work at the time unless it's the weekend. But I'll follow Portugal, I'll follow France, I'll follow Brazil. So these are the teams that I'll probably see. I want to see how my United players, especially in Portugal and Brazil, do. I'm trying to see how Cunha, rises up. Trying to see how Bruno continues his creativity. I mean, he scored a goal yesterday and he was creating chances from deep and everything. I just want to see Martinez do something with this Portugal national team. They have a very good crop of players. Inacio thriving very well in centre back. Bruno, Bernardo Silva, Ruben Neves, João Neves, Vitinha, stacked midfield, and then up top why I mentioned Brazil is because Bruno Guimaraes is back from injury and he's playing really well. Casemiro is the headliner of that Brazil national team. Forget Neymar. Neymar is just going to be there to make the numbers. Then, like you mentioned, you have Ryan and co. So World Cup is going to be super interesting to see how these heavyweights face each other. And I would like to see, like Cote d'Ivoire, like you mentioned, one African team. He mentioned Morocco. I'd like to see Cote d'Ivoire challenge the big boys. They face Ecuador or Croatia, one of those two. I would like to see them challenge the big boys and Ahmad perform at the top level. I mean, Ahmad coming on in the friendly and scoring a goal, and he was like, I'm like, bro,
it's nothing.
He was our best player, right? And he came from the deep, drove the ball forward. He's always like, he's alive again. And I want him to carry on that so that when he comes back from the World Cup after a 2-week or 3-week break, if he comes back to the squad, he's hitting it hot and running high. I'm not worried about him because obviously Mbumo can play that position because Mbumo didn't make the World Cup, right? But yeah, so that's my take on all of this.
Yeah, look at how awesome just sat. He's like, no wisdom there.
No. I'm actually done. I was brainstorming, but it's the World Cup season, yeah. As usual.
I mean, all content will move towards World Cup this time. So
yeah. It's World Cup and exclusive back to back.
Yeah.
No time to actually rest. This is the time we just have to like be a bit on my toes. Yeah. And Portugal, Brazil, and in as much as they've tipped Spain, France to win the this thing, but
bro, it's that Spain France thing I don't even understand.
There's actually a twist because I will say this, and UKG, you can keep this video. I come back to this live stream to celebrate Portugal winning this World Cup.
Wow, that's a bold call.
Nothing will take it away. Actually, watching Portugal yesterday, no João Neves, no Trincao, no Vitinha, and they were actually able to ball like that. And there's one thing this Portuguese team have started doing. They've started playing as a team. Imagine Bruno Fernandes intercepting a ball, logging a pass, and at the end of the day, he end up scoring that ball. So that tells us that they are actually working on their games, and it will be quite interesting. So until after World Cup, United matters will be minimal. It is World Cup.
Yeah. Also, guys, make sure you follow. Okay. Thanks, Awesome. Also, make sure you follow Awesome. He has started a new segment on his show. It's called Controversy. VARC.
Yeah, controversy. Yeah,
controversy. So yeah,
bro, I like that.
I like that too. So we will be going on to his live, onto his show, just to discuss about controversies regarding VAR and the refereeing, as well as discussing about the World Cup. And as United Talks has said, content is shifting more towards World Cup rather than Manchester United. Also, make sure you follow Awesome. He has 2 channels, Awesome FC and Exclusive by Awesome. He's the only guy on this platform that has 2 podcasts. We are jealous.
No, I do. I have a second one. I was jealous, but I have one. No, I have to call it out.
Come on. You've stayed too long with Arsenal fans. Just accept.
No. I have to call it out. No. No.
It's
okay,
like
guys.
Arsenal,
Just to add to what UKG just said. There's I have a second channel. It's called El Pablo FC. It's just general football content, and that's where most of the World Cup content is going. We're going to keep United Talks, and then focus on general content. I've been bantering Arsenal fans there. Someone actually came to attack me and says, "Why did I make a whole video all about Arsenal?" I'm like, bro, what do you want me to do? If you want to go and set a camera or sit down and put a light, I told him DIY how to set up and talk about Arsenal. Talk about the content to suit his narrative. And like UKG always say, go and pee and sleep, bro.
Yeah, exactly. But today, guys, you have to clap for me because I've been really nice today.
Bro. Yeah. Cheers. You've been nice today.
Today I've been nice today. Yeah. So United Talks podcast on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, all over. Fred FC as well. Is it Fred United FC?
Fred United.
Yeah, Fred United FC. Make sure you also follow UKG United Quack Ground. We are across all platforms. I don't have a second channel. I'm that lazy. I'm that lazy, but I always join I always join Awesome's content and give my views. Worldwide Reds is saying wishing Christian Eriksen all the best.
I was going to say that Christian Eriksen collapsed on the field and the game was abandoned. But the news came out from the medical team that he's back. Like I think his pacemaker went off for like 30 seconds or something, or a few minutes. But he's back now.
I think it's time for him to like take a rest.
Bro.
He needs to rest. Yeah. Okay, as I end the show, interesting fact. Fact number 1. Almost half of the world's population tunes into the World Cup. Fact number 2. The 2002 World Cup, hosted by South Korea and Japan, was the first ever World Cup to be hosted by 2 different nations.
Okay, well, facts.
Yeah, listen to this. In the 2018 World Cup that was hosted by Russia, the distance between Ekaterinburg and Kaliningrad. Sorry for my pronunciation.
All good.
The easternmost host cities and the westernmost host city, respectively. The distance between those 2 host cities is 1,500 miles.
So that's around.
That's the same distance between Moscow
700 plus
and.
That's a 5-hour trip. That's a 5-hour drive.
Yeah,
and so that's why they're not hosting it in Canada.
And that's the same distance between Moscow and London.
Yeah, that's a 5-hour drive. A 7-hour drive, rather. 7-hour drive.
Yeah, I believe Russia is so vast that they have 3 time zones.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Russia, like right now, there are parts that they are on. They are, let's say, Monday morning, and there are parts that they are Monday
Sunday
evening.
afternoon, and there are parts that Monday evening as well.
Yeah. So thanks, guys. Thanks, gentlemen. Fred, better pray that Casey reacts and Kimi miss the next one. Otherwise,
you are still owing us 4 quantums.
4 of them. Okay. See you guys. Cheers and bye-bye.
All right.